Tonight's episode of the Tuesday Night Cigar Club is brought to you by Drew Estate. Come experience the rebirth of cigars at www.drewestate.com and download the free Drew Diplomat smartphone app today to discover nearby retailers, RSVP to special events, redeem points to win exclusive Drew Estate merchandise, and much, much more.
This might be a big mistake, but I'm having too much fun to wait. Flag her down when she comes back by. That one's yours and this one's mine. Bring another round. Bring another round. Bring another round. Bring another round. Bring another round.
Here's the suckles.
Good evening, brothers and sisters of the Leaf. Coming to you live once again from the corner of No Hope, it's the Tuesday Night Cigar Club podcast. Tonight the boys talk their way through the
one and only giant prehistoric shark movie that fucking started it all, 2002's Shark Attack 3 Megalodon,
while smoking the
brand new Cedrus The Hogan cigar from Southern Draw,
paired with the
Pussy Willow Pilsner from Shannon Brewing Company. Keep your dirty euphemisms to yourself, folks.
Sounds like it's going to be one hell of a good time, folks. So sit back, light 'em up, and enjoy the show.
Oh man, welcome back, boys. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody sitting up vertically. Last time I saw Tut, we were bringing him back from Connecticut on a stretcher. Thanks, Pedro.
That's no lie. That's no lie.
1 minute we're out in the nice, cool Connecticut evening, having a few cigars and talking regional politics with two elderly women.
They let us know because they looked it up on the Google.
They were outside doing some work on the Google, and just these two old chain-smoking women, and have a lovely evening. Next thing I know, Pedro from Drew Estate shows up with a bottle of bourbon, and things took a turn. Boy, did they take a turn.
Ooh.
You okay? You feeling good?
Yeah.
Get your land legs back?
No.
Did Tut reimagine the scene from Almost Famous where he got up on the roof of the hotel and said he was a golden rock god?
No. He actually somewhat behaved himself.
Shame on you.
That's what's weird.
But you would think the next day that he literally, he didn't stand up. He laid down in the car all the way to the drive from Connecticut to Boston. He laid down the airport. We waited for a flight.
Slept on
the next flight. He passed out on the floor in the airport.
You passed out on the floor in an airport?
Well, I didn't pass out. I took a nap. There's a difference.
Terrible.
Which airport?
All of them.
All of them?
Let's see.
I thought SeaTac in Washington had the nicest floor that I've slept on.
Boston it seemed like it had a decent floor.
I think it was Philadelphia that I liked because it had this vibration the entire time. What was the second airport that we went? We went from Boston to Dallas.
Do not sleep on the floor there.
Why? It was it's like one of those coin operated. It's like one of those coin operated beds, man. The entire terminal just sit there and
that floor was a coin operated bed.
I just had to make sure you didn't wear a Tuesday Night Cigar Club T-shirt because that would have ruined all our credibility.
See, I think the opposite. I think we had a photograph of him just sprawled out there with a TNC T-shirt.
Look at that dude.
It was rough, man. I don't know what hit me. I don't know how.
I was just delighted it wasn't me for once. I mean,
Mom, look,
I'm sick of putting up with you guys' shit all the time.
Mom, look, it's a homeless guy. No, Susie, that's just a Stephen F. Austin grad student.
He's probably a podcaster.
I guess that's what you get for hanging out with those Drew Estate hoodlums.
Man, Pedro, you owe him one.
What?
Or not, as it turns
No.
out.
No, like you gotta slip him a Mickey next time you.
Oh, okay.
Or whatever.
You think that's what it was? Pedro was like,
Or one of those elderly chain
Oh
smoking
my
grandmas.
goodness.
Grandmas put something in your.
that
bourbon.
probably makes more sense than, Pedro.
That's what they were looking up on the Google.
I'm gonna rape the shit out of that one.
Oh, you would have liked these two broads. But on a serious note, I heard some terrible news yesterday that I think will make Tut's stomach even more upset than Pedro Gomez's single batch bourbon. Did you guys see they're remaking Magnum PI? Tut's favorite show of all time. They're remaking it. It looks awesome.
It looks horrible.
Hell yes.
It looks. No.
You've got hunky
No.
young Jay Hernandez as
No.
Thomas Magnum. Sans mustache. I
No.
like it. No mustache.
Dude,
God.
He needs a mustache.
I'm sorry.
it
no.
looked like the worst fucking thing I've ever seen.
No.
And the new Higgins isn't some stuffy old English dude. It's some hot smoking English chick.
You know, I did watch the preview, and I was very happy that she had the lads. Because, I mean, if there wasn't going to be a pair of Dobermans over there, I'm fucking done with it.
I did say Dobermans. Unfortunately, Yaks, I looked into it, but the Dobermans in this one belong to the new and improved super metrosexual Rick character.
You sure you don't want a little of this?
Hot chick Higgins actually has a little team.
Oh, fuck.
A little team of wiener dogs. That she does.
My disappointment is only foot long.
Well, it's used as a running joke all season because Higgins in this one is a vegan lesbian, so she doesn't like wieners of any variety, and they just Thomas gets some jokes in every episode.
You know what? I'm going to go take a nap on an airport floor right now.
You'll feel better after about 7 hours.
Vegan lesbian Higgins.
Can't say that.
Okay,
Let's both go take a nap at the Colleen airport.
but I wear headbands now, so I'm kind of cool with whatever.
All right.
I noticed you going with the Baker Mayfield look this evening. Are you going to jump back on the Browns bandwagon?
Right on. Whatever.
Yeah, the rumor is that they're signing Des Bryant this weekend.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. No, we
$100
actually,
million contract.
since we've been here, we have not done a podcast since Vegas.
No.
When we went to Vegas to work for Drew State for about it seemed like a month we were there.
Yeah.
A week. Seemed like a month. We were there a really long time. But good trip.
Are we still not there?
But when we were in the Austin airport, sitting across from us in the lobby was Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
And Tud, as you know, is a huge man boner for him. And
Yeah, but look who's wearing the freaking bandana.
dude, he was there with his kid, so it was nice. Nobody was bothering him.
Yeah.
So it was just him and his daughter playing around on the laptop. And man, he had this headband on. And I was like, and since then, all the other airports Tud has noticed. That's where I get my fashion ideas, is airports.
It's where people come together.
Tut sleeps. I look. I found a chick wearing some kangaroo tennis shoes in the Boston airport.
Small ruse.
I'm getting a pair of ruse.
The ruse?
The ruse
The
are
old
back.
school ruse?
So I'm getting some ruse, and I
Oh
took
my
the headband. I
goodness.
took the headband from McConaughey.
Good lord.
I even got a sweet new turquoise mermaid ring to go with it. Because if you got a headband, you got to have some turquoise.
Apparently so.
I'm not
Big
sure
thing-
how I feel about
Big
any
things
of
are
this.
happening around here, guys.
Hey, the turquoise ring looks nice, man. I like it.
It's,
And I actually kind of like the headband.
this is happening.
I'm
boys.
pretty pissed that you jumped on it first and I didn't get it. I'm still taking it.
Nah, I was here first. But you know what? If you want to wear one, right on. Whatever. I'm not going to judge you, partner.
Are you sure you don't want some rum?
I think I could, with the headband and the turquoise ring, I should be on that Magnum PI show.
Well,
Possibly.
you certainly look douchey
Right
about it.
on.
The cool surfer neighbor?
Kiggins.
Kiggins.
No, I feel like you would be like that, the flavor of the week bad guy, like that he takes down in the
No,
first 5 minutes.
you were right with the first one. You're the totally perpetually stoned surfer guy who walks along the beach and you're in one scene, but you say something, but it's some kind of wisdom.
They're always delivering my
Yeah.
pizzas accidentally to lesbian vegan Higgins, and she gets all mad about those pepperoni pizzas. Sorry.
Oh God, this is Billy the Kid's pizza. That should be Billy the Kid. This is Billy the Kid's pizza. You come walking over, you go, Thomas, bro, what happened?
Billy the
Where's
Kid.
my pie?
Billy the
And he hands it to you. So there you go, Billy. And then you
No,
have
what was
some
that?
wisdom for
No,
him.
what was that beer drinking badass in the bikini movie we did? Mad Dog?
Mad Dog?
Was it Mad Dog?
I believe so, yes.
I'm gonna go Mad Dog.
See, I like either Billy the Kid or Rosie, Point Break style.
What about Rosie the Kid?
Rosie's right.
right.
They would say that every episode.
I like all these ideas, and I gotta admit that Magnum PI trailer kicked fucking ass.
No, it did not.
When he flew over the cliff and he jumped up onto TC's helicopter.
He's not being serious. You realize that, don't you?
Welcome everybody to the Tuesday Night Cigar Club, episode 77. It looked like shit.
Thank you. Now, welcome to the
Loud and clear, White Knight. Come on, guys.
This shot was pretty fucking good.
It was a cool shot.
77.
With the rest of it.
Boy, it seems like we should have really done more of these at this point.
So many.
But when you do the stuff we do, it's not like we haven't been busy. Vegas.
We have been very busy.
We went to Connecticut Barn Smoker. Boy, that was fun.
I held a garage sale and sold off a lot of you guys' possessions while you were in Vegas, so I was pretty busy.
Is that where all my shit went? Hey, well, I came back to my headband and my ring. That's all I care about.
Are we all going to get rings now? Can we all get rings now?
Yeah, totally.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to get a little centaur on mine. Nobody else gets a centaur. I called it first.
Well, you can take the boys away from Drew Estate.
He's got a mermaid. I need a centaur.
But you can't take the Drew Estate away from the boys. We are warming up tonight with little Brixton Mash Destroyer on the rocks.
You can have one of Fool's scorpion rings. I still got those in a big plastic bag. That's really wearing jewelry.
I like it. I like it a lot. But yeah, it's been a while, but we've been very busy. And you should see a lot of videos soon to prove that we just haven't been fucking around and sleeping. We actually have been doing stuff, but yeah, it's been fun. But I'm glad we're back. We're going to start busting out a lot of shows trying to catch up. Got a lot of cigars to get to. Yeah.
I mean, we took a break to drink and smoke. And so now we're back to
Drink and smoke. This time
it's going to be different.
Did you miss us, folks? Did you miss us? Do you hear that? That deafening wall of...
Well, like Mike Morgan apparently said tonight, I keep watching y'all to see if something happens.
Keep watching. Keep it up.
He quit.
I missed you guys. I didn't go on the Vegas trip.
Did you miss us?
I missed you, yes.
Thank you.
It's good to see you and Audrey and
Tut.
Tut again.
Tut again. Welcome, Doctor. It's 2 in a row for you.
Yes.
If we only do one show every 2 months, we can probably get you in.
The last one was a July 4th show. Yeah.
We're going to get you in.
I can definitely be a 100% full-time member.
I do want to mention, before we get into the show, we, as always, are listening to Fritz Beer. Our friend Fritz Beer, our fellow TNCC brother, our silent 5th member. Well, he's not silent. He's here every night singing for us. But he just released a new double CD, live CD, recorded October 1st, I think, 2016. It's called Live. The Bishops, his first band. He started as a young man, I believe as a teenager, or maybe early 20s. The Bishops, live at Elijah P's, is the double CD. And digital download for you hip young Magnum PI fans out there who likes the things a certain way. Or double CD, all 33 songs. What a set. One night, they played 2 sets with 2 different drummers, 33 fucking songs. I listened to it. I recently went to Houston last weekend, about a 3-hour drive. I rocked it there and back. It's a phenomenal disc. Get your ass. We're going to stream it here tonight, but I got the CDs, and I don't really have a way to play CDs right now. I'm Tut. It just didn't work out. But
I don't know the internet.
Go to fritzbeermusic.com.
You need to look it up on the Google.
It's the first thing you got to get on the Google, man. Apparently, that's where all it is happening. Get on the Google,
man. I need to get on the Google.
These two ladies, Doctor, because we were with cigar people and all that, they were just hammering us on where they could find cigarette tobacco. They've been looking for it for weeks because they're spending way too much on their... These ladies lived at the hotel we were staying
on like a can of Prince Albert or something like
that?
Yeah,
like a Bugler. And they just couldn't find... But they wanted to buy it in bulk.
But then they went to thebugler.com to find some, and
she's like, I have to set up for some kind of merchant account, and the lady was like, just do it. It was crazy, dude.
I didn't even know they had that at all anymore.
It was absolutely... Oh, sure. I don't know in bulk like these ladies wanted.
They want like a big brick of it. Like
yes.
This.
No, they wanted like a bale. They were trying to buy like
one lady's son was like shipping her I don't know how many cartons a week from like upstate somewhere. It was a whole scene, man. Anyway, It's the first thing you see. Buy the CDs. It comes with a digital download, I believe. It's a phenomenal disc. If you like the music here on the show, you will not be disappointed. Some songs, some old classics, some stuff I hadn't heard, some cool covers. Check it out. And I believe before the end of the year, we will have Fritz joining us once again.
All right.
Coming down here, and looking forward to that. So, made fun of Tut for drinking too much. Made fun of Magnum PI.
Check.
Talked about Fritz.
You can never make fun of a man for drinking too much. You can only make fun of him for drinking too little. That's the doctor's health announcement of the week.
I know.
He knows. He's a doctor.
These are the PSAs we need.
Something.
That's something Rosie the Kid would say, too.
Well, that's a character. I'm not in character right now. You guys want to talk about a cigar?
With that attitude, you never will.
Just this one time.
Tonight, boys, we do smoke a cigar, drink a beer, and talk about a movie. Cedrus The Hogan by Southern Draw.
Just studying.
Why is it the Hogan?
You gave it a decent one.
Yeah.
I will tell you why it's
Better draw.
called the Hogan.
Not there.
Little background.
Yeah, that's good.
It is a 5.5 by 52 Bellicoso Fino box press. Beautiful box press. It is, the wrapper is a Sumatra from the Basuki region of Indonesia. Basuki. Binder is Nicaraguan Habano 2000. Filler is Habana 92, Corojo 99, Criollo 98, all from Nicaragua. And a little Piloto Cuban from the Dominican Republic. I will, as always, save price for later. No cheating, Yak Boy. I saw your eyes. This is the 5th core line from Southern Draw, and where all of its predecessors were named after flowers: Rose of Sharon, Kudzu, Gesundheit. Yeah. This puppy is inspired by Lebanese cedar trees. The Cedrus. The name the Hogan, which
Hulk Hogan
addresses this particular Vitola. Close.
What you gonna do when this Vitola runs all over you, brother? Take your vitamins, smoke your stogies, call people the N-word.
I was sitting down.
No, you got too far.
Fight for the rights of every man.
Well, not every man.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
God, what a dickhead that guy turned out to be, huh? The name Hogan references a western red cedar variety known as the Hogan. This particular tree can grow up to 200 feet tall and live to be over 1,000-year-old, much like those two old broads we hung out with in Connecticut. God, I hope I didn't tell them to listen to the show.
It's all right. They would have found it on the Google. They're out there every night.
But the cigar is also a tribute to Phil and Shelley Hogan, a military family who were big supporters and friends of Robert and Sharon Holt from the very beginning of Southern Draw. And it's for Phil and Shelley that the box press Bellicoso is called the Hogan. We talked quite a bit about this cigar with the Holts in Vegas at the IPCPR trade show, so I will be sure to include that video interview on the episode page for this show. I will add that Robert Holt is on record saying that the Cedrus is the company's most distinguished tasting cigar yet, making mention of the Indonesian tobacco's distinctive spice profile, as well as an herb-like profile that comes from the, help me out, boys, Quilali. The Quilali tobacco, which is grown in a mountainous region of Nicaragua, 70 miles northeast of Esteli.
Distinguished cigar for some distinguished gentlemen.
You got that right. So that's high praise from him, indeed. And also, I mean, we've been big fans of almost all Southern Draw offerings. The Rose of Sharon was crowned our #1 cigar of last year. So this thing's got some big boots to fill. Should be interesting. You guys haven't lit up. Tut, you've lit up. What do you...
Oh, I'm loving this thing. First of all...
It's a beautiful box press.
Man, the presentation, I love this. I love the green wrapper. I love the color coordination of it.
You don't talk a lot unless something catches your eye on here about, the presentation with the wrapper and whatnot. But I do like Southern Draw's use of color, whether it's like that deep purplish blue for the Jacob's Ladder, I like the pink for the Rose of Sharon. It just stands out as you don't see that color used on a lot of cigars. I like it, but the Cedrus pops. It looks good. It looks really good. And the box press is just...
It looks good. The box press feels great in your hands. I'm a big fan of the Kudzu Perfecto. Oddly enough, as much as I like the Rose of Sharon and as much as I like Jacobs, I gotta say that Kudzu Perfecto is probably my favorite Southern Draw.
I smoked a Rose of Sharon Perfecto for the first time the other night.
Really? Okay.
And then I smoked a Lancero, Rose of Sharon Lancero, because I would like to revisit that on the show, and I was trying to decide which one might be the one to do. And I have to go back to the laboratory and do some more. There was differences. Yeah. But man, there's something about the Perfecto shape when it's done right.
Coming off of the Kudzu Perfecto, and the Bellicoso is pretty close to it. Man, they do box press right over there. They really do.
I am. Well, obviously, I'm not surprised because Robert had mentioned the spice from the Asian.
A blast of pepper and spice right off the top.
Just a ton of early spice through the nose and the palate. But on the palate, it's not at all kicking my ass. It's actually, there's a real smoothness immediately kind of after it.
Nice smoke presentation up the body of the cigar.
It's got almost a bluish tinted smoke that just travels up the body. Southern Draw is one of those companies. Dunbarton is another that pops to mind, where it's just construction is never... you're going to... Even if you don't care for the profile cigar, it's going to be well constructed. I've never had an issue with a Southern Draw cigar. But yeah, I can't think of any other thing in their catalog that's this much spice up front, but it's not like it's not a ballsy spice. It's just a nice, really nice, and kind of lingers in your head a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna come. You guys literally just lit up, so I will come back to it. As you guys know, yes, we're sipping on a little bit of Brixton Mash here. 50% rum, 50% bourbon. Hey everybody, Matt Cade here, Tuesday Night Cigar Club. In Vegas, I did, Doctor, 300 pairing videos.
It might as well, man.
Pairing various John Drew Brands things.
Once you get past 23, it all blends together. Anyway.
I had to have set some kind of Guinness record for pairing videos.
Wasn't Brixton Mash a song by The Clash?
Should have been.
I don't know.
Yeah, Brixton something.
I
bet it's on the Google.
I bet it is on the Google.
You sure you're not talking about the Brixton Bop by the Ramones?
That was a song. And I made Brixton mashed potatoes last Thanksgiving, but you didn't show up.
I wasn't invited.
Oh, that's right. Forget I said anything about the Brixton mashed potatoes. You know what, Doc? Well,
I sold your Brixton mashed potato pot while you were in Vegas.
Damn it. Well, Doctor's using the Google. You want to tell us a little bit about tonight's beer?
Yes,
I promise, folks. I promise this might be my best beer pairing to a film and to a cigar ever.
Possibly, yes. I will second that motion right off the top.
I'm a genius.
We are opening up. We've opened up a ice cold can of Pussy Willow.
What?
Pilsner.
Pussy Willow.
Oh, he said it. Okay, yes.
I just want to
Pussy Willow
apologize
Pilsner
right now for this show.
Right on. It's the Pussy Willow Pilsner.
I can't tell you the last time I've just sipped on a glass of pussy.
Willow.
Pussy Willow. It is fantastic. Pussy Willow Pilsner.
I don't know. You guys are talking a lot about this pussy. I better have a taste myself.
It's
from
flavorful.
Shannon
It's
Brewing
got some
Company.
really good mouthfeel. It's just
rolls right off the
It's
tongue.
all right there.
We'll be here all night, folks.
we are a bunch of high schoolers.
Sorry. Yes. All right. Unfortunately, they chose it for a very good reason, but they knew this was going to happen. They knew this was going to happen. All right.
The Guns of Brixton. It's on the London Calling album.
Well, there we go.
My brain is not entirely turned to mud.
Look at you.
Mostly, but not entirely.
Wait till you try
back to the
wait till you eat my Brixton mashed potatoes.
Shannon, let me get through this because otherwise it's gonna. I'm gonna have to just look. I'm gonna say pussy like 50 more times here. It's just.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. Pussy Willow Pilsner, Shannon Brewing Company out of Keller, Texas. towards Fort Worth, or just north of Fort Worth. They have been around since 2014. Brewing.
I've never heard of Shannon Brewing Company.
They're very new.
Have you?
and
Had you heard of them?
I had not heard of them.
Dude, Fort Worth pussy?
There's no end to it.
Willow.
Pussy Willow.
Right.
Willow.
Right.
It's Willow. I
should have seen this coming.
It is a Pilsner, done in the Czech style. It's a 5.9% ABV. Don't.
Sorry, I was gonna make a Czech style pussy joke. Your Czech.
I'm loving it. It's better than a kolache.
We can't even get through the beer deal on this.
Sorry, it'll calm down after. I'm sorry. In an hour, when he's done introducing the beer, will be.
Once you have your third or fourth pussy, it's gonna be all right.
Yeah, they are all the same after a while, aren't they?
That is some delicious
Beer.
Some delicious beer.
It actually is really, really delicious.
Well, I got shit.
As I said,
I got shit on last for 4th of July episode because I picked a dark imperial stout that no one wanted to drink because it was so.
It was like milk on a hot
You
day.
guys-
It was milk on a hot day.
It was 104 today. I thought, you know what? Not only
The
does
stout was a bad choice.
not only does the Pussy Willow fit in with the cigar because the Cedrus is a tree, the Pussy Willow is a tree, and then you'll learn later on how it matches on to the movie. So they're in Fort Worth, are they?
Yes. Keller, Texas. As I said before.
Where's Keller, Texas?
Keller is to the north of Fort Worth, and so not as bad now.
Okay.
Right over by, I believe, Flower Mound.
I actually drove through Keller on my way down from the doctor's office this afternoon.
Oh, really? You have an
Yes.
office now?
Well, it's a closet. It's kind of like how in Raw Deal when Darren McGavin meets Arnold in that little rundown place.
Oh, yeah.
If you ever come up there, you'll be like, the doctor meets in such curious meeting places.
Do you take that little highway that dumps out around 35 around the racetrack?
I actually drive through Keller and North Richland Hills and end up further south of the racetrack.
Okay, all right.
So the pussy then comes from the other side of the dumper.
Oh, God.
That's what Tut just said. The Pussy Willow. It's Willow.
Keep going, please, Cody.
All right. let me give you some tasting here. It's a perfectly balanced with subtle malt backbone, light hop flavor. It is named for the blooming tree representing luck, good fortune, and prosperity.
Right on.
I feel the good luck shining down on us already.
Not
Or that
after
could
this
just be
intro.
the blood loss from my brain from wearing this tight headband. I'm going down.
It is brewed with Pilsen, Vienna, and Munich malts, and lightly hopped with Tettnang and Saaz, then lagered for 40-plus days.
Hey, Cade just passed out. Somebody grab his pussy.
Willow.
Willow beer.
Boy, it's refreshing.
I love it.
It,
I love it.
poured so light.
Oh, my gosh, I love it.
It poured so light, I was a little worried that we weren't going to get any flavor. But sometimes when you get that real clear, pint.
Doctor, you go ahead and say it.
Oh, Tut loves the pussy. That's awesome. Willow beer.
No, I even when I'm going to the cigar, and I've still got Pussy Willow on the brain. But no, when I poured it, it was so light. It's kind of darkened up as it's rested. But I'm always worried about the Coors Light thing. There's not going to be any flavor because of the pint is so translucent. It's got a lot of flavor going on.
It does.
Calling
This
us
is
high
actually,
school might have
it
been
is, I
too
will say this much.
complimentary.
In comparison to the last beer we did on the podcast, this is very refreshing and light.
Yes.
It's crisp and going to keep us cool.
Yeah, TNCC was not fans of the Clown Shoes Party Crasher.
Maybe we'll come back to it when there's a blizzard out.
Exactly.
I want to jump in on the cigar real quick since everybody's into it. But just real quick, I mean, for a beer this light, what is it, 5%?
5.9.
Okay. For a beer this just seemingly nothing to it visually, 5.9, and it's got flavors. It's got some citrus, a little bit of lemon. It's got a little bit of bite.
Yeah, but I mean, you're looking at it thinking, like you just said, you're looking at it going, that's going to be Coors Light.
Yeah.
But it's not. This is a Pilsner.
It's got some lemon. It's got a tiny little bit of bite, which I wasn't expecting. Which
So
is
it's
nice.
it's Czech style. How close to Czech style?
Well, Pilsner itself is a Czech
Right.
style beer. I mean, it came from the town of Pils, but I mean, in this, I won't say like, oh, this is authentic.
Right.
But they have obviously done a really good job of trying to recreate that style.
I like it.
Have you guys noticed that a lot of beers, even if they're just the mass-produced domestic ones, are coming out with a 5.9 ABV?
Like just the name brand.
Yes, like Keystone made a Keystone Ice that's a 5.9.
It's that's kind of become
research.
like the
Their
benchmark.
research shows people like to get fucked up.
It does. But
I could drink 18 of these and not get fucked up. What if we gave you something with 12 you would get fucked up? All right, I'll drink that. It might taste a little different.
What if
it's
we
Keystone.
also raise the price? Would you still buy it?
Now I'm going to start questioning my life choices. God, I must have drank 1 million cans of Keystone in college. And
Have you ever had the Keystone Ice that's in a black can?
Haven't even seen it.
Okay. It's in a black can. It's 5.9.
Have you had it?
Yes, I have. It's actually pretty decent.
Keystone was always my favorite of the cheap. I could never do the Natty Light or the
Oh no, Milwaukee's best.
Milwaukee's
That's the way to
Beast.
go.
I was a Keystone guy.
Beast is the way to go.
Keystone had that bottle beer taste in a can.
That's what the
Beast,
domestic ones are
Busch.
doing. The Beast does the same thing. They call it Milwaukee's Best Ice, and then they kick 5.9% on it.
Oh no, I was a big fan of Bush.
That's what all my relatives up north drink. We're a little classier
if
here.
we're
We go
gonna
for the
talk
pussy.
about pussy, we may as well include Bush.
Well, top one for the Bush.
Well, if they didn't have Pussy Willow, we were going to do Bush tonight. Cigar?
Yes.
We have
you have
viewers after this.
you have said nothing. We'll have no male viewers.
no female viewers.
No male. The women will just flock to us.
Well, if they do, I'm going to save it, but
Hey,
maybe we're onto something.
it's worth a shot. Cigar.
I'm liking it. Before I lit up, just the aroma, just coming off the cigar. It was very, oddly enough, it smelled like cedar. To me, anyways.
Well, there's definitely a woodsiness.
There's a woodsiness.
Almost,
but light, a very light.
almost like
woodsiness.
wood shavings.
Yeah,
more
yeah,
than-
very light woodsiness.
And then when I lit it up, like I said, I got that as well, like that little blast of,
man,
of spice.
but that spice is consistent.
Like I said, right when I lit up, I got that blast initially, a little more on the retrohale. But then here, it's my palate's gotten a little bit more used to it. So, but it's still there. And I'm liking it so far. I'm still picking up. Just that woodsy flavor is very much in the background to me.
I'm getting a little bit of green tea,
Interesting.
which I've gotten before in cigars, very rarely. I'm a big Sumatra fan though, because Sumatra wrappers give you some weird stuff that you don't normally get otherwise. I don't know why more people. We did the Blackworks S&R cigar, which I believe is a Sumatra, earlier in the year, which had some really cool flavors. I'm just a big fan. This is by far one of the prettiest and darker Sumatras I've seen. But a little bit of green tea, that spice, some real gentle woodsiness. Nothing like oak or no, just lighter stuff. And then, man, I'm getting something else. I just can't put my finger on it.
For me, it's an undertone of leather. It's got a nice. It's like a leather that's sitting on the bottom of the palate with that spice coming over the top.
Glad you said
with
that
a
because
little
I
bit of
wanted
that
to say that.
woodiness on the side.
I think you might have nailed it with the leather. Yeah, it's a really medium bodied, as Tut said, great mouthfeel. Or were you talking about the pussy?
I was talking about the pussy.
The cigar too has really good mouthfeel. Really, just lingering smoke, smooth and complex is where I'm at so far. I like it,
Me
and
too.
I'm trying to compare it to anything else in the Southern Draw catalog. I can't do it.
It's as light as the Firethorn. It's a little bit heavier than the Firethorn, but probably close to the lightness of the Firethorn. I like the Firethorn. Firethorn's got a nice clean taste to it.
Is that the one where they dust the leaves?
I believe so.
In the factory to kind of clean off, like nobody does that but them. They actually have the guys sweep off the tobacco leaves.
For some reason, I'm thinking like a
shop
Leslie
vac.
Nielsen movie with a shop vac.
dustbuster. No, I think it's just a little hand broom.
It's that lightness, but it's kind of like Coors. It's that lightness, but there's a lot of flavor. There's a lot more flavor that I pick up in this than I missed in the Firethorn.
Yeah, it's definitely got more going on than Firethorn's kind of a straight ahead. It's a really good cigar, but it's kind of a singular experience, if that makes sense. This thing's kind of ebbing and flowing a lot. I'll come back to it. Look at the construction, though. Look at the burn line. Look at that. I mean, you guys...
I think we've all commented on the aroma being top notch.
Yeah.
It smells really, really good. So does the beer. Which will... You guys all good? Can I start talking about a movie?
Wait, there's a movie.
Please.
There is a movie.
I thought we were just going to spend the next
we were
hour
supposed to
talking
watch
about
a
Magnum
movie.
PI.
We are wrapping up, Discovery Channel, I guess, does Shark Week.
In July, yes.
TNCC kind of does Shark Summer because while we did a shark movie earlier this year, and I wanted to do a double feature. If you go back, I actually wanted to do this movie then with that movie.
Thank God.
But you couldn't find it anywhere streaming. Now it is available on Amazon Prime. But the Doctor has been putting out a lot of shark-reviewed movies on our website. Go there. My favorite review, 90210 Shark Attack. Deep
By the
Blue
way,
Sea
if
2.
you haven't read that on the website, go to the website, read the Doctor's review, 90210 Shark.
Thank you. Terrible movie, but I'm glad you enjoyed the review.
No, it was a great review.
I know we've done Deep Blue Sea 2 a couple years back. I did Shallows with Blake. It's Lively, right? I always say her name wrong.
Zombie
Lively.
Shark? Didn't you do a zombie?
Toxic Shark.
Toxic Shark.
Toxic Shark.
Which is that was a sci-fi kind of like the movie we're going to get into.
But didn't if you get bit by the shark, you turn into a zombie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of like the movie we're about to get into. I call it one of those glorious sci-fi over-the-top romps. Would be Toxic Shark.
Well, they don't make them like this anymore.
And I just
Thank God. I mean, no, that's too bad.
I just saw The Meg
What are you
this week.
talking about,
The recent release with Jason Statham. So I'm
I
gonna
will say this.
Write up a review for that.
Yes, my doppelganger.
That is true.
Who? I'm sorry. Who?
Jason Statham.
Cody
Yes.
Lister.
Dude, put them next to each other.
He did play.
And that guy.
He did play Christmas in The Unreliables.
And The Meg, it was a good movie. I saw it.
You saw too.
I did.
Well, this was one of the first
Review forthcoming. On that.
creature features. Your review will actually be up on probably before this episode gets up. But this was one of the very first creature shark movies to introduce the Megalodon, the dinosaur prehistoric shark. Now it's kind of every other sci-fi movie is a Megalodon versus Crocosaurus.
How can we make these sharks scarier? What if we made them bigger? How
or,
big? Megalodon.
Octopus
Megalodon
shark,
Sharktopus.
Lavalantula shark versus Megalodon.
Danny Trejo versus the five-headed shark.
Yes, I'm getting a ticket for that.
Megalodon. It turned out it was just Shaq out on a raft. But this is one of the first. What did you guys think of Meg? The Jason Statham, the new movie.
I liked it.
It looks like a lot of fun.
It actually was.
It was entertaining. Like anything, you can find fault with anything these days. There's a few things that
If
I'm
you
going
go
to find
into it
fault
just
with.
looking for a fun shark movie,
It was a good creature feature.
check marks.
It was entertaining. Yeah, I had not, as I believe you have, read the book.
No, I own the book, but like a lot of books I own, I have not read it.
Okay.
Actually, let me caveat. Like all books I own, I look very worldly, and my house is filled with books.
Much like your headband,
Welcome
it's all
to
in the
my library.
presentation. No one else has to know you. They just see the library. They don't. In fact, I think half those books are mine. Probably they're on your shelves.
Wow,
He gives
these
me books.
they look
Everybody
so-
gives me books to read, and I just put it on the shelf. And if someone asks me, like, "Oh, I've heard good things," I'm like, "Yeah, me too."
It's the only way I'm going to get that Warren Oates biography back is if I bring that Killer Fish DVD down
Yeah,
here.
you're not getting that. You get a lot of people ask me about that biography. I'm like, "Oh
Oh,
man,
Yeah, I
it's-
know.
it's intense."
It makes you look
Wow,
real
that
cool to
book
have a
looks
Warren
so-
Oates biography.
He was,
By the way,
he was a headband guy.
If you ever get that back, can I borrow it?
Sure.
Excellent.
Never getting that
You can
back.
keep it for 3 years too.
Was it all a budget of 150 million? I would hope the CGI looked good.
So here's the thing about that. Okay,
Because the movie we did earlier this year, real quick, 47 Meters Down with Mandy
Yeah.
Moore, had a lot of faults, a lot of plot holes, a lot of things, but
Those
the
sharks
sharks
look
themselves looked great.
my thing is there is no such thing as good CGI. There's either cartoonishly awful, and then you're something better than that. So this did not fall into cartoonishly awful. It went into something better than that. It's probably, if you wanted to start doing subtle grades into something better than cartoonishly bad, it's probably towards the higher end of that.
Okay, I
But
hope so.
since you're dealing with a 70-foot-long shark, there's really no way to make that look. So CGI, all you can do for me is just don't be heinously terrible. And it wasn't that.
At any point did Jason Statham make that face that the guy on our TV screen
No.
made?
Statham, man, he didn't do that. He's too cool.
Was he badass?
Yeah,
He was. I mean,
Matt Cade-esque?
I wouldn't go that far.
Did he wear a headband?
No.
no. He doesn't need a headband.
You guys see that cranium, man? That's Statham.
Yeah. Did Rainn Wilson wear a headband?
He had a ball cap on most of the time.
Was he the tech
this
guy?
is money.
No,
No.
Rainn Wilson was the billionaire guy that is the entrepreneur that had sunk the money into the research
Was he like
station.
a quirky Silicon Valley
No,
millionaire?
no,
Yeah.
not at all. He was very good.
Against type then.
Yes.
Tight.
I love Rainn Wilson.
He
And
should be in more stuff. This
He
was
should.
What are
totally
you guys talking
Dwight
about?
from The Office.
Gotcha.
totally not Dwight at all.
Awesome.
Like a hit.
Well, now I wanted to see it already. Now I really want to see it.
Not a techie guy, kind of a wisecracking, but not like an asshole billionaire.
The only thing that turned me off casting wise in that, I'm not a fan of that Ruby Rose chick.
Who's Ruby Rose?
She didn't really. She had kind of a
She's-
bit part off to the side. I mean, it wasn't really.
She would love the Pussy Willow Pilsner.
Probably.
Real popular. She's in that Orange is the New Black
Yeah.
Netflix
She was in
show.
John Wick too.
She was so bad
Yes.
in that. She was terrible in that. She was the worst thing in that movie.
As
I
the
didn't-
act
I-
said, they don't give her much to do here. It's
I didn't
really
believe for one moment that she was an assassin or a
This
trained.
is the point where I realize I'm here for production and not movie knowledge. Because I'm just like, who?
She was just cast.
What?
She was just cast as
Where?
Batgirl.
You need to look at the Google to find out who they are.
Get on the Google.
the best part of Tut's brain leaked out on the floor of the Poughkeepsie Airport. I would say that other than
Damn you,
Statham,
Pedro.
Rainn Wilson, and Cliff Curtis, who you'd recognize from a ton of shit, not anyone else is really
Right.
given a whole lot.
But you guys, 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was entertaining
I
movies.
look forward to your review, Doctor.
Yeah.
Well, tonight we are doing 2002's where it all began, Shark Attack 3, Megalodon. Like I said, it all began at Shark Attack 1, but we're not doing 1 or 2. I did go back and watch 1 and 2. There's no continuity to the series.
No, they just used the Shark Attack name.
I never, for once, was like, you guys need to watch Shark Attack 1 and 2 to get...
You won't understand what's happening.
There's
in
no
this movie.
reoccurring characters. There's no...
Is it a shark attack? Yes, but that's not the point.
Although Shark Attack 2 does have a really great slow motion lovemaking scene in the swimming pool.
Oh, it does.
But then they were attacked by a shark in a swimming pool.
Each one's
Shark
basically
Attack 2.
each one's basically the same. Evil developers, mutated sharks. Shit happens.
Those damn developers. Damn them.
Damn them to hell. Well, Shark Attack 3 was written by Scott Devine and William Hook. They both co-wrote the first 2 Shark Attack movies. So there's some continuity there with the writing team. And directed by David Worth, who not only directed the first Kickboxer movie with Von Damme, if that means something to you, and I can tell by Tut's face it does, but his feature film directorial debut, and I don't think any of you guys have seen this, but it means something to me, 1975's Poor Pretty Eddie, also known as Redneck County.
I get a bad feeling about this movie.
Something tells me without knowing that's a
No.
trauma flick.
No, it's not. This was pre-trauma. It's one of the most gritty, disturbing, mindfuck films I soaked in as a young
Like I said,
cinephile.
they're just gonna.
It still gives me the willies just thinking about this movie. Shelley Winters, Slim Pickens give
Oh my god!
gangbuster performances as these weirdo rednecks.
I gotta watch it now.
Yeah, I'm a Slim Pickens fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
he chews up the screen.
I was
and
about to
well,
say,
he
yeah.
chews up the screen and everything.
Yeah.
But it'd actually be a fantastic movie to do here on the podcast. But one of the central...
The film has been banned from the United States.
No. The central plot point is rape, and I promised Tut we wouldn't do any more rape movies for a few months.
Yeah.
But
2019.
Slim Pickens plays the sheriff, and there's a scene where he's with the rape victim in the police station, and he's like taking her things like, "Why don't you suck on one of these tomatoes?" Like as she's relaying like this terrible rape, he's like, "You look just too stressed out, sweetie pie. Suck on one of these tomatoes." And then as he goes on,
That wasn't a bad Pickens.
was it not bad?
Not bad.
No, it wasn't.
The Brixton mash helps. But then the line that always gets me, he's filling out this police report. Well, did he bite on your titties? Well, the judges weren't going to know this stuff.
Did he bite on your titties?
The judges...
I gotta one up it.
These are
Did he bite on your titties?
These are questions that the judge is going to ask, honey.
Questions?
Dude, it is crazy. Poor Pretty Eddie. The main dude who... just rent it. Find it. It'll blow your mind. I'm sure Kickboxer had crazy moments like that, right?
No.
I never saw it.
No.
I never saw it. I was too busy eating these tomatoes.
I never saw it.
Lord. Someone go back and get a shitload of dimes.
We're gonna need a shitload of dimes. Man, that guy.
It's like a Shaggy with a country accent.
Yeah, sort of. He was kind of the country Shaggy.
We'll run the old number 6 on him. What's the old number 6? That's where we go riding into town, a hooting and a whomping and a stomping every living thing. Except the women, of course. You spare the women? Oh, no, we rape the shit out of them at the old number 6 dance.
I'm starting to sense a pattern with these Slim Pickens movies.
Yeah.
Me Too? Is that how that works?
I don't think that's not
No,
how
I
it works.
can't declare that.
Well, you could, but then you started wearing the headband and all bets are off.
Well, I've always marched to the beat of my own drummer.
Piss on you, I work for Mel Brooks.
Right on.
I gotta give me a huge turquoise ring.
You like that,
It's like,
don't you?
we were like, bam, it's like ring is 3/4 of your fist.
In your face.
Don't ever punch anybody because they're gonna be able to find you.
Well, there's
easily.
turquoise rings and then there's fucking
I get this feeling that
boobalicious
slowly
mermaid.
but surely, like, it's gonna just like here, then also there's gonna be one over here, and then another here, then here. It's gonna proliferate. It just keeps growing.
Turquoise choker necklace.
It's gonna be one of those things where he's like, I've had it. He's gonna throw them away, and then all of a sudden they're back on his hands. Like, oh.
Hey, man, I'm going through changes. I can't tell you what's going to happen because I don't know.
No, it's all right, man. It's all right.
Right on.
I don't.
Well, we started off tonight's movie with the stereotypical POV shot over the top of a humongous shark. The camera's like right over its fin as it cruises through the deepest depths of the ocean.
Apparently, this shark can make noise in
Only
the water.
this fucking shark is growling like a lion.
What the hell?
Doctor, I know you're not a marine biologist, but to your knowledge, do sharks ever growl like lions and tigers?
Sharks not growl at all. This was famously discussed with the wonderful movie, not to start naming those, but Jaws 3, where the shark growled. Sharks do not growl.
He's a man of much knowledge. That's why you're here. I didn't think so either. I thought that was weird that he growled like a lion.
It was totally weird.
Well, this big bastard finds his way to an offshore pipeline operation where a poor welder is hundreds of feet, thousands of feet,
Hundreds of feet.
Underwater patching a fiber optics line. And despite the pleas from the control room, they see the blip on the sonar. He's too deep. Nothing should be alive down there. Get out of there. Get out of there.
Especially something the size of Rhode Island.
And
Nothing's below that depth.
he's quickly beheaded by the shark, who then proceeds to growl a lot more and chomp the poor bastard to pieces.
But I just like their supervisor
No, it's
because
like
he knew what to do in a situation
Well,
like that.
as always, the supervisor's chomping on a unlit cigar. Get him out of there!
What are you doing?
I'll start doing that.
I'm surprised this guy was not featured more in this film because he set the tone immediately.
I think he was dubbed. This was either Russian or Bulgarian flick.
Well, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later. Well, as is customary in these Shark Attack movies, the Shark Attack 1, 2, and 3, there's a lot of practical mechanical shark effects intermixed with actual great white footage. No cheap CGI. They do these things the right way. They have an actual mechanical shark that they show in the close-ups, and they cut to great white style. It looks good to me.
No, it doesn't. Every time it did a cutaway, it looked like they were cutting away to a National Geographic shot,
Which they were.
TV. Yeah,
They were.
I mean, it was totally like not even close.
I thought it worked well. I thought the cutting between the real sharks and the things. I mean, yes, obviously, the close-up shark looks a little different than the live stuff that they filmed, but there's no CGI, and they actually built a fucking shark for these close-ups that looks somewhat. It looks better than the Jaws 3 shark and the Jaws 4 shark. It looks like a serviceable
Well, the Jaws
shark.
4 shark was like a painted school bus.
It really was. It worked for me.
I didn't have a problem
It
with
worked for me. We then cut to Colima, Mexico. 6 months later, we are at the Playa del Rey Resort, and things are jumping, fellas. People are soaking up the sun in the pool. Margaritas are flowing like
Pussy Willow?
margaritas flowing at a Mexican resort.
Oh, well.
That's where I was going with that.
That's good too, I guess.
But no margaritas for our hero, Beach Patrolman Ben Carpenter.
Good old Ben Carpenter.
Who's grabbing some coffee at the cantina. He's got some work to do. Ben Carpenter is played by John Barrowman, who you might recognize. I know Tut picked him up.
Merlin.
From such DC CW programs as Green Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, and The Flash. He was also had a really long stint on Doctor Who, apparently.
Captain Jack Harkness. And he headlined the Torchwood series.
I didn't know
He
that.
works a lot. I think he did some Broadway stuff, too.
Cody
Like,
Cody upped my nerd on that.
He's actually a pretty respected actor.
Unlike anyone
yes.
else in
this.
Shark
I mean,
Tank.
obviously, this was very
Early.
early. I mean, he had not garnered those roles. I mean, the Doctor Who stuff, the Torchwood, that
So Broadway came after Shark Attack 3 Megalodon.
most likely, yes.
That makes sense.
How do you think
He
he
probably
got it?
doesn't want to talk about Shark Attack 3.
No, dude, I've watched interviews with him. I had to figure out some riddles that this movie presents us with. He's pretty cool. He seems like a pretty cool guy. He's pretty comfortable. Like, how could you not be, dude? You're an actor. You take jobs. That's your job. is to
Exactly.
get paid to act. Why are you going to shy away from your early stuff?
Wasn't it the young Indiana Jones guy, that Sean Patrick Flannery? What didn't he kind of say the same thing? Because he had been in some sci-fi movies. He's like, you just have to go with it and have so much fun because it's ridiculous. And
You're getting paid to play. I mean, what's embarrassing about any of it?
Yeah.
I was a fan of Arrow when it first came out. I watched the first few seasons, but when he first appeared as Malcolm Merlin, it had been a while since I'd seen Megalodon because I probably saw it like you back in 2002. So I didn't make the connection until a few years later. Then I saw it and I was like, oh shit, that guy went on to become Malcolm Merlin. Good for him.
Out of those series, I'm a big Flash fan. They had a Legends of Tomorrow crossover, so I did see him there. But I guess he had a much bigger presence on the Flash. But I think he's a regular on Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes.
Isn't he one of the spaceship people?
Well, he was one of the regulars on Arrow.
Yeah, he was the main character on it the first couple years.
Right. Well, he's a good-looking dude. He's got $1 million smile. He's always reminded me kind of a non-complicated Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Well, they definitely had the same shots of early Tom Cruise films. The big flashy smile.
I mean,
with
this
the
guy
quarter-turn
is
head, and
literally
it was
always smiling.
And there was one.
And why wouldn't he be?
There was one exchange between him and the driver of the boat here at this deal, to where it's like they're like laughing.
Oh no!
And then they hang on this laugh smile for like 3 beats,
As he
way
makes
too long.
As he makes his way down to the patrol boat, why wouldn't he be smiling? There's dozens of topless beauties parading on the beach.
Oh, yeah,
that was
yeah.
missing from the first 2 Shark Attack movies. A lot of nudity. Man, all the girls are naked in this thing. But then when he gets down to his boat, his amigo, he gives him a coffee, and his amigo throws him a can of Coke. And they laugh about this can of Coke, just smiling for like a minute.
It's uncomfortably long how much they hang
This
on
motherfucker
this.
is happy as shit to get that can of Coke. I guess I'd be happy as shit too if I looked like a non-complicated Tom Cruise.
Oh,
right?
I guess the joke was that he can't drink water or something like that because he's like in Mexico.
Oh, the coffee's made with Mexican water. No, it's a resort. They've got
I think
filters.
they're just loving life, man. They just got these jobs, like you said. There's titties and margaritas, and
Like I said, he's happy as shit.
I mean, who wouldn't be?
Well,
I'm not Tom Cruise.
I'll tell you who's not.
I'm going there now.
I'll tell you who's not happy. Elsewhere on the water, a tourist, a rich guy, has been trying to reel in a large swordfish for over 3 hours, while his boat hand bangs some bikini model on the other side of the deck.
I think that's his wife.
Oh, is that the rich guy's wife?
I think so. Yes.
Oh, and that guy's so consumed with that sword. Oh,
I'm gonna get that fish.
oh, that makes sense.
And that guy with that voice is back. He's the captain of the boat. Get that fish.
But just as he's starting to get some momentum with the swordfish, our friend the Megalodon swoops in, growls, bites the swordfish clear in half. The fisherman reels in its severed head.
Well, I like how the fact
my
that he's
whole
pulling
life-
in this marlin, and he still
He
has
said
literally
something
half
that-
of a marlin, and the guy's just holding it up like it's nothing.
But he said something like, "My whole life, summed up by this severed fish head. It was some like throwaway line about this sums up my life. My wife's getting banged by this guy. I'd still mount that severed swordfish on my study wall.
And just tell everybody you took it down. Who's gonna know?
Well, just instead of mounting it
What
this
happened to
way,
the
mounting
what
it
happened to
straight
the
out.
other, what happened to the other 3/4 of it? I ate it.
No, instead of mounting like,
it's
this,
coming
like
out
it's
of the
coming out of the wall.
Yeah. Well, maybe he did. I don't know.
I pulled him onto the deck of my boat. We wrestled for 4 hours, and I carved him in half.
As
One
Louise
Marlin was
banged
in-
my wife in
When
the
Marlon was
distance.
in the water, I took him out of the
Swordfish
water.
goes in the water. It was a good-looking swordfish.
Well, what'd you do with the other half of that swordfish, Kate? Well, I don't know, Ernie, but I did it.
I did it. Well, after their patrol shift is over, Carpenter talks his coworker into boating out a bit to the sweet spot he's learned has some primo lobster.
Primo lobster.
Primo lobster.
That's something a guy with a headband would say.
I was
Hey, I know a place.
really thinking that he was
I
like
know a
talking
place.
about something else,
Hey,
but
man.
in fact he was actually talking about lobster.
Oh, this guy, when he wants to talk about that, he talks about
he
that.
talks about that.
He doesn't use euphemisms.
I'm just saying, man, I got this great place with some lobster on
See,
the
I see
side
Rosie
of
the
the coast.
Kid in his one scene in episode 2 of Magnum P.I. When Magnum goes down to the beach in the morning, Rosie's coming out of the...
Some lobster
He's
traps.
coming out with some No, he's just got a couple lobsters in his hand. He went down and caught them. So, what's up, Thomas? Got some Claude little boys here for you. Shut up, Rosie. I'm gonna take Rosie. Shut up, Rosie.
Nobody says shut up to Rosie the Kid. Well, he's down. So Ben, he goes down underwater to get them some dinner. And as he's diving around down there, he comes across a giant telecommunications cable with a large, not crazy large, but a really big shark tooth embedded in it. Before he can scoop up any more lobsters, though, some scuba divers from Apex Communications show up and tell him to scram. This is their property. Get the hell out of here. Later that night, we find Carpenter doing some internet research on shark teeth. This tooth really's got his noodle working. When he can't find a match for what he found stuck in the cable, Ben he's got a little digital camera there. He takes a picture of the tooth and uploads it, hoping someone will be able to help identify it. Only the camera, when he takes a picture, is not hooked up to his computer. And he's holding the tooth in his hand, and when the picture shows up on the screen, his hand's not in the picture. It's the perfect...
Did he post it on the Google?
I think this was pre the Google.
Oh,
If this
man.
movie was released in 2002, it was likely shot a year earlier when they're doing that, like, no one's gonna notice this shit.
Just do this. We'll figure it out.
Not the goddamn stoned teenagers that are gonna be watching this at midnight next Saturday.
I'm an asshole for even pointing that out. I apologize. Maybe technology worked different in 2002. Maybe
No.
you didn't have to plug in stuff, and
No.
maybe technology could just remove your hand from a picture.
People don't understand these computers. It's a fad. They'll never last.
Tut,
Enhance.
you're our tech guy. Was that a possibility?
No.
No.
Enhance.
Either way, there's something about this tooth that's really bugging him.
Yeah, which is really weird because it's
He
a
puts
normal
it on-
shark's tooth.
It's just a big shark
It's,
tooth.
He
it's
puts
not even
it on
a.
I can't figure out what this shark tooth is.com.
It's not even a
and
big shark's tooth.
And he titles it. He puts it on the message board. He titles it "Mystery Tooth." Mistery. Did y'all see that? He misspelled mystery.
No, I didn't see that.
Hey, he's got that smile. He doesn't need to spell shit right. When you look that handsome, you don't get it. Trust me, guys. I know.
If he had
You
just
get
looked
away
over
with
at a
it.
mirror at that point,
The minute I put on this turquoise mermaid ring,
He just,
I don't got to spell shit.
Did he go onto a dating site? People who love shark teeth.
This is 2002, way before those weirdo dating sites.
sharkteethlovers.com.
Follow me to the Plaza del Rey aquarium. All right. Back in the States, at the San Diego Natural History Museum, we find paleontologist Cataline?
Sure.
Her name was spelled several different ways. I'm going to go with Catalina.
Cataline?
Cataline.
Was she Dr. Stone?
Yes. Paleontologist Dr.
There's always a paleontologist in these
Cataline?
movies.
Catalina Stone. I'm going to go Catalina.
Catalina.
It's easier to say. Who cares? She's hard at work late at night into the wee hours. Hey, what's up with that weirdo security guard?
Honey, you need to go get yourself
What
a
is
sandwich.
every
oh my
side
god,
character?
he was.
What is every other character that's walking in? Hey, gruff voice man, over here.
Too bad Slim Pickens was dead. Why don't you go on in there and get you a sandwich with some
suck
tomatoes?
up. You've been working hard, darling. Why don't you get one of these tomatoes?
I'd put a big old dill pickle on that sandwich.
Let me watch you eat it.
This dude was creepy, man.
Oh, that
He was
security.
creepy.
It was a very quick
Well,
scene.
I'm
but
real because here's the thing: is as I'm watching this, all of a sudden it's like, yes, okay, shot a security guard, Still shot a security guard. He's really securing hard. He's pointing at He's pointing.
He's got
flashlight.
that flashlight, that 1970s flashlight. Just
What I'm
looking
always
at
curious is
everything.
like, you know what? I can understand you turn out the lights, but why? I mean, this guy, you could just easily leave the lights on in the museum.
Can we get him a better flashlight? Oh, we used thousands of dollars on that state-of-the-art computer system. You saw that internet thing. It's going to blow people out of the water.
Look, she's working in the wee hours because, let's face it, guys, a paleontologist's work is never done.
It's been done for millions of years.
She's
Just waiting.
You could literally go home at 5. It's going to be the same shit the next morning. There's no new shit you're going to learn. It's millions of years old.
If I don't get these fossil records done tonight, my
They'll
bosses
be
are
there tomorrow. That's like why if we had to be scientists, it'd probably be paleontologists. Because that shit can wait. Dr. Cade, we noticed you stumbled in at 10 today. Did you get the scrapings from the... No, guess what? I'll get them now.
I'll do it now.
It hasn't changed.
Let me guess, did the fossil move? Then I think we're good.
Oh, it's the same fucking 4 million year old fossil? Okay, gotcha. I'll get it right to you.
Sorry, I guess we're all going to be attacked by dinosaurs now because I went home and got drunk last night.
Dr. Cade had a few too many, and we won't know how the mollusk reproduced 7 billion years ago.
Like, all right, you don't have to be an asshole about it.
Can we be honest here? Nobody gives a shit.
I don't know why you even get a doctorate in this crap.
No, this is why I got a doctorate, so I could go home and get hammered. Now here we are.
I don't know why they allowed me to do it.
There's that security guard. Dr. Cade, you need to go get yourself a sandwich.
Go get yourself a sandwich. Did the fossil bite you on the titties?
Well, she logs into her computer and sees Carpenter's message on the shark board about his mystery shark, M-I-S-T-E-R-Y. She should have just ignored it then. Like, this fucker can't even spell it right. I'm not going to... But
And then she saw his headshot right next to it. He's all, oh, I better check into this.
It's a moving thing. He's laughing.
It's just a shot of his teeth. Check these out.
He's holding it up next to his smiling white choppers. It's all,
Maybe instead of the shark tooth, that's what she was looking at his picture. She's like, oh my God.
I'm on that next plane to Mexico.
But no, she does look at that shark tooth and be like, oh, this is juicy. Did y'all notice as she was looking at it, right by her desk, there's a little thing of books. The Big Book of Dinosaurs. It was like a kid's book. It's like they gave the set designer, like, all right, it's a paleontologist's office. Just get some books that look like.
We need books with dinosaurs.
It was like a scholastic Big Book of Dinosaurs.
I was waiting for him to look down, and she's got a coloring book of dinosaurs. She's filling it in. I've got to get these reports done.
Honey, you've been coloring all night. You could use a quesadilla. Just leave me alone, you old freak.
Circle this quesadilla.
I got to go put my flashlight over at these dinosaur fossils.
Yeah, just in case somebody's stealing that shit. Well, the next morning, Ben Carpenter meets with his boss, Mr. Ruiz, who's having lunch with the head of Apex Communications, Mr. Tolley. Apex has a bunch of guests at the resort that weekend brought in to celebrate the launch of Apex's new Trans-Pacific cable. Mr. Tolley wants to know about the shark tooth that Carpenter found, which damaged some of the fiber optics. Ben reassures Mr. Tolley the shark was probably just curious. It's nothing to worry about, and it put the executive at ease. But still, Mr. Ruiz pulls Ben aside. It's like, I don't pay you to go farting around getting lobsters. You're paid to patrol the beach.
What do you think you are, a paleontologist?
You're not like a paleontologist. Your work matters.
You're not a paleontologist. You actually have a meaningful job. Get your ass out there in that boat and watch people swim.
Tomorrow, Kate's getting an email
Drive
from the
that boat around in
Paleontologist Association of
circles and
America.
do nothing for the next 5 hours. What am I paying you for?
I'm going to look out my front door tomorrow. There's going to be like 5 paleontologists outside with like dinosaur bones snapping them in their hands. One word?
If you do, send a text to me so I can go and try to find
I
and
think
track
you're
them
proving
through
my
Google
point.
Analytics.
Yeah, that's
It'd
when
be like,
you open the door and
yeah.
go, I guess you guys have time to protest because you don't have to do anything meaningful this morning.
That's why we're here. Those little comments, you asshole.
I guess your work is still going to be waiting for you when you get back.
But he does get in trouble for regular. Even that smile can't get him around Mr. Ruiz.
Yeah.
No, he can't. Cigar.
Yeah.
You look very happy with it.
I'm extremely happy with this.
Spice, mild woodsiness. There's a real smoothness there. I think it's the leather that you picked up on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still getting that distinct tea, kind of green tea to it.
It's not a transition cigar. I haven't had any type of things that have shifted.
Oh, all this
away
stuff has
from
been
that.
there pretty much from the beginning.
You said smooth and complex. There's a lot of different flavors, but like you pointed out, you're not getting anything.
You
out of
can
left
be
field
complex
staying
without
good from it.
transitions.
You can, and that's the one thing that I will think. And I don't know if I'm imagining it or not, but I'm seriously like, the leather is a small undertone that sits on the bottom of on the palate. That spiciness is right on it's the top layer of it, and then that woodsiness just kind of fills in the sides, and it's been that way the entire time.
I will say this, boys. What do you think? Whenever I take a draw and then I pair it with Brixton mash, some of that vanilla from the Brixton mash picks up into the cigar, and I start getting a little bit of vanilla on the cigar. It's really nice. I don't get that from the beer, obviously.
Yeah.
But a little bit of Brixton, then all of a sudden I'm getting a little bit of vanilla on the palate of the cigar, which is totally from the Brixton. But it is pairing very well. The beer is completely Switzerland. It's not going to get in the way of anything.
Yeah.
It's a very peaceful beer, but
It led to me making a note on my film notes. You can be complex without transitions, unless you are a paleontologist. Matt Cave.
it's true.
This is a whole thing that I do.
Oh, I know. I enjoy looking at your worksheets at the end of every episode. The beer still, obviously, you guys are enjoying?
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah, the beer is an absolute winner. Great on this hot Texas night.
Yeah, I think this might be up there with Hans Pils.
Oh, absolutely.
As far as like a winning Pilsner, just you can't go wrong with.
Absolutely.
I love the Pils.
I would even...
Pils with flavor.
Man, I'll have to revisit the Hans. I haven't had it in a while.
I drink so much of that. It's like I'd have to drink 10,000 of these to compare. But I mean,
you are close. You are close. And we love the Hans.
We love the Hans Pils. We did that in our early years with the guest. That was one of my favorite pairings that we did early on.
We drank the shit out of it when we made Hipster.
Oh, and then when we did our short film, that's what we were drinking out in the middle of the woods, just like a bunch of
left and right. I will say that the cigar is just it's a great looking cigar. It's a great smoking cigar, and it just smells nice. You really can't go wrong with this cigar.
Agreed. Even for Sumatra to have a bit of an oily.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you said that it was a Sumatra wrapper, I was like, no.
Man, I smoke
Sumatra's not this dark. Sumatra's not this oily.
I smoked a lot of Sumatras, and this thing actually has a sheen to it.
Yeah.
And that's only helping that blue smoke travel up and down the body.
Especially once you get that wrapper off and you get that nice little crystallization coming off of those lights. It's a beautiful looking cigar.
Yeah, I've smoked quite a few of those Firethorns, or I'm sorry, the kudzu, which you were referencing earlier. I like this better. To me, this is giving me more diversity. What do I always say? Don't give me a boring smoke. Don't give me a boring beer. This smoke is maybe the most unboring Southern Draw. I don't know. Rosa Sharon has a lot of nice touches going on too.
Yeah. Have you had the Kudzu Perfecto?
I have not.
Because it's different from the regular from the other Vitolas.
I need to try that.
All right, I'm gonna try to find you one because it really is. These two cigars are actually kind of similar, except the Kudzu has a bit more heft to it. It's got more of a weight to it. It's definitely more of a nicotine hit. It's more
everything
of a
in
power.
here. Everything in here is not
balanced.
I don't want to say light.
Yeah.
But there's no weight given to any certain flavor and even the overall experience. Like I said, it's very medium.
It's not a heavy cigar.
Not at all.
Yeah.
But the mouthfeel and the smoke, it smokes like a heavy cigar.
And it looks beautiful coming up. Like I said, coming off the body, the smoke.
Yeah. I'm really digging it.
I'm loving it. For me, the retro hail is it's like wood shavings and pepper. I don't know how else to explain it.
Are you getting that? It's not a creaminess. It's just a smoothness. It's. I think it might be just a certain tobacco they used.
I thought it was
because it reminds me of some of the Nicaraguan stuff used in the Hoya 1970. It's kind of that mineral, that Nicaraguan mineral component that just gives it kind of that smoothness, and it's there with the leather and with the green tea and the spice and the, like you said, the real light wood shades. There's just a real smoothness to it, man.
Is that often contradictory, where despite the bevy of different flavors that we're picking up on, that it still remains smooth? I look at that as a very complimentary thing to a cigar, that you're getting a lot of different flavors.
It depends on what you want. Some people want that powerhouse, just heavy set, like just loaded up a Ligero. There's times where I'm like, man, Ligero the crap out of me, and I just want that cigar to just sit down on my chest. This is different. This is like, you still get a lot of those flavors, a lot of those identities, but you don't have that heavy presence to it.
We've also smoked cigars, not necessarily on the show, where there's, Doctor, to answer your question, where there's so many flavors going on, they don't necessarily jive with each other.
That's what I mean. It sounds like
it leaves you confused.
It sounds like those are kind of diametrically opposed things, to where this is that to me would be a huge compliment. This pulls it off. It's got a lot of different flavors going on.
From a blending standpoint,
at the same time, you're right, it is smooth.
From a blending standpoint, to have that many different flavors, I mean, we've all mentioned so many different things consistently throughout the cigar, but they're working together and it is smooth. I think that is unique. A lot of times it leaves me kind of baffled when I can't put my thumb on what is this cigar. This cigar, these things work together, and I know what the cigar is. I'll go and buy this one again because I know, oh man, you know what? If I just want an interesting smoke with a lot of different stuff going on, it's going to pair with a Pilsner or with a mixed drink.
It is complementing both this beer and the rum.
It is a lot.
And to me, that speaks to the craftsmanship, that you have a distinct kind of a taste layer as you go through, the inhale and the retrohale. To where it's almost like a defined where the flavor hits you on the mouth. To me, it has been consistent the entire time that I've smoked this cigar. And to me, that is like master craftsmanship. There's a beer off in Red Horn Brewery to where you got a lot of citrus on the first sip and then all of a sudden cream on the aftertaste. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Okay, but every sip that I had after that was citrus on the front end, cream on the back end, and I'm like, those are way opposing flavors.
Yeah.
So for them to actually engineer that experience, that's like this. I swear, it's like leather, spice, woodsy, in the same proportions all the time. To me, that is just absolutely mastercraft.
We also complimented on this. Look at the blue factor of that.
Dude, it's got blue,
as opposed to just a white nuclear ash cloud.
No, it's got a bluish smoke coming on. I mean, it's... Yeah. Well, real quick, I think it's about time. We're all over halfway done. Maybe it's a little earlier than usual, but I'm going to do it. You guys want to guess price point? Keep in mind, he did say this is their most distinguished tasting cigar, and he made a big point, as you'll see on the video on the episode page. This was not limited, but it was going out to their established retailers only that have been supporters of the brand up to this point. That we're at IPCPR. Doctor, I'm going to go to you first.
I probably would have guessed a little lower, but since you said that, and that has nothing to do with the quality. Man, this is really good.
Beautiful, beautiful
burning
presentation. And the box these bad boys come in, it's a vertical box. The cigars are actually inserted. There's 10 to a box. They're placed in this way as opposed to the usual where they lay down in the box. It's a beautiful looking box. Keeps with the green. The green they're going.
Shoot high on this one. I'm gonna go $13.95.
Okay.
That seems. I should round 8.
8. All right. Cut, you actually probably buy the most Southern Draw cigars out of the four of us, so I'm interested to see what you think.
I'm gonna go $13.25.
Would you say $13.95?
Way to undercut me, you bastard!
Price is right, bastard. $11.99.
$11.99.
Which I think is right on the money. I would pay $12 for this in a heartbeat.
Oh yes.
Yeah, definitely.
And
it's also
considering today's
relatively
prices-
it's also relatively slow smoke.
That's what I was going to say. At today's prices, I almost feel like it's a bargain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Holts are very sensitive to pricing. We've had a lot of after-hours talks at Cats Fest and other
Gonna get you a
places.
high score on the price value.
Just kind of talking to him about how they price stuff, and they're very aware of. He's very in tune to what's selling and at what price points and what they need to do to keep. Man, I think that's a great price for this.
It really is, and
I think at that price point, this cigar is going to get a lot of longevity and a lot of traction.
yeah. Well, the thing that I like about the Holts when I've talked with them about price is, it's not. They have a percent of profit that they make, and that percent does not change. So when you get price differentiation,
Differential?
yeah, that thing, price differences between cigars, it's because the price of the tobacco and the price of the construction has changed, not their percentage of what they're taking.
I mean, this
off
thing
the
uses
cigar.
what I list, like 4 different fillers,
Right.
an Indonesian Indonesian wrapper. I mean, this isn't a Nicaraguan puro, or
Yeah.
this has got a lot of different components they're outsourcing to get just right.
Yeah,
For $12, fuck yeah, right on.
right on.
All right, beer.
Yeah, I think we all have. I paid $15 for something that's not even anywhere that good.
Oh man, we spent Doc in Vegas. We went to the Davidoff Lounge.
That was a good cigar, though.
I'm a professed Davidoff fan for 20 years.
You would have loved this lounge.
Oh, this was nothing but Davidoff.
But
At least we were pretty hammered. That's what.
Sweet Davidoff.
they're good, but that Nicaraguan silver label one that was $17, that's no better than this at all.
Oh, no.
We had one that was,
Yeah, I smoked a Churchill. He smoked a Churchill after hours. I think the darker one. I think you had a regular Churchill, maybe.
That was a damn good cigar. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, it was good. Had some really weird drinks to go with it.
Oh my god, that was the weirdest drink.
That was the night we were having trouble keeping this guy vertical.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
Summer nights in Vegas. More on that later.
I may have gotten ripped by the shop I was at, because I think I paid $17 for a Robusto.
The Nicaragua, that's a little high.
Yeah.
And actually, that's one of the few Davidoffs I'm not a fan of, the Nicaraguan. But man, those Churchills were nice, but I think we paid out the fucking
Oh, we
ass.
did.
Man. I think we paid like 30-something bucks
We
a
did.
pop.
It was 30-something.
30-something a pop.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're at Davidoff Bar in Vegas. You play ball.
I mean, it's right off the strip. What do you expect?
Yeah. Got a nice little table. Waitress took care of us. Had a really, really, really good.
What was his name, man? I can't remember that dude's name. David or John or something like
I
that.
don't know, but he was really
Knowledgeable? He was
knowledgeable cigar steward that took you in the humidor, knew everything about the cigars, took us to our table, got us. I mean, it was a class act all the way. I liked.
Every time I talk to a cigar manufacturer about the impact of your brick and mortar and what they need to do to sell cigars and educate the population and educate smokers that go into there, this is their unicorn. This is their guy that they would want in every single
Because
shop.
while we were there, a big bachelor party came in of like 20 dudes, and I guarantee you that guy got them all non-cigar. These guys were just there for the weekend, probably not seasoned cigar smokers. I guarantee you they left happy.
Oh yeah.
He found them
Yeah.
something that he knew would, suit their mood,
Yeah.
suit their palate.
That was a lot like
the guy was a pro.
the Ambassador Fine Cigar Shop that I went to in Peoria, Arizona, outside of Phoenix. The guy was wearing a suit and went into the humidor with him. And when he found out that I knew a little bit more
You
than
were a professional cigar podcaster?
nothing like you guys with your knowledge, but when he found out that I knew a little bit more about what I was talking about, he was really engaging and went up and down the aisles pointing it out. And
Did he ask about my headband?
you were not wearing a headband then.
I just started doing this.
You did.
If he
But it's
did-
gonna
if-
catch on.
If he did, then we would know he's a time traveler, and we have
That's all right. I am getting a JKL sticker for my laptop.
McConaughey had a "Just Keep Living" bumper sticker on his laptop.
I'm like, hey man, you'd be surprised to know that one of my best buddies is the guy that plays Rosie the Kid on the new Magnum PI show.
The guy that's always getting his pizzas delivered to lesbian vegan Higgins.
Stoner
on.
guy that always gives out a little line of wisdom, that's him, and that's Rosie.
That's
Right
it.
on.
Oh, wow.
Right on.
Right on. Okay. Well, I'm
That's
really
gonna be your new hat. Right on.
right on. I'm really glad that everyone's enjoying the cigar. I'm glad the Pussy Willow is.
All jokes aside,
it's going really good, and I swear it will tie into the movie here in about an hour.
Any second now.
All right. Well, speaking of the movie, so Carpenter just got his ass chewed out by Ruiz. Still smiling, damn it. While he was getting his ass chewed out by his boss, he's still smiling.
Damn it, Carpenter! What am I paying you for?
Christ, if I had that gig, my boss could yell at me once a day, too. I wouldn't
The
give a
only
shit.
sweeter gig than a paleontologist in San Diego is a beach patrolman at Playa del Rey,
Mexico.
Well, he's getting his ass
I don't
chewed
know.
out.
The lifeguards at that Australian beach was pretty nice.
Well, that was the ultimate gig.
Well.
But I don't think they were getting paid.
Oh yeah, they weren't getting paid.
But why would they need to? They're at a sweet, sweet beach
And they had the deeds.
in the freezer. Who's gonna look there?
Well, Carpenter's getting his ass chewed out by Ruiz. His local buddy Ramirez is chewing out the ass of his boobalicious date in the water right off the coast. Right as he's about to insert his beef chimichanga into her aquatic street taco, a tiger shark that's been slowly approaching them gets viciously
Note to
attacked.
self, how long has he been waiting to say that?
It's been counting down on the
Dude, I'm picturing you sitting up at 2 in the morning going, what's the perfect Mexican food? As he inserts his tamale into her. No, that's no
I
good.
thought about tamale. I went with beef chimichanga.
Did that security
I like
guard
the
come by to check
aquatic-
on you to see, like, how long you... I've got to finish this.
What was that? The aquatic nacho?
He licks her tostadas with it. No.
All right, guys, I'll do a rare rewind here. Right as he's about to insert his beef chimichanga into her aquatic street taco.
Next time I go to Taco Bell, that's what I'm ordering.
Can I get the aquatic street taco, please?
Let me get 6 aquatic street tacos, lots of fire sauce,
That's going in my notes.
and
I'm gonna draw an aquatic street taco.
you know what? Let's just go with the beef chimichanga, and fuck it, give me a case of Guadalupe Dorito Crunch while you're at it. Sir, you realize you're gonna be on the toilet all night? Yes, I do. I don't need a lecture from you, high school kid.
I just need you to take that beef chimichanga and shove it inside those aquatic
Hey,
street
I know you
tacos.
can't see me through the drive-through thing, high school kid. I'm wearing a headband and a sweet-ass fucking turquoise ring. I know what I'm doing. It's 2 in the morning. Right on.
40 aquatic street tacos and a mule. Wasn't that what they promised the homesteaders?
Something like that. A tiger shark has been watching them all along, getting busy in the water. Right as it's about to get them, our buddy the Megalodon comes in and attacks
Eats
it.
that fucking shark.
It eats that fucking tiger shark.
All right. First of all, there was a scene from National Geographic where a shark attacked a seal.
It was a little bit shot differently because it was shot years earlier in National Geographic.
I
It
think
totally
you're
was a seal, too.
overthinking.
Come on.
Well, they scamper back to shore and they call in Carpenter and the Beach Patrol.
Aquatic seal tacos for everyone.
Ben can't help but compare his mystery tooth, M-I-S-T-E-R-Y. He pulls out that tooth and compares it to the tiger shark. Could this be our boy? Dude, that tiger shark has little tiny teeth.
But he whips out those pliers like,
I have to
give
draw
me
a
a fucking
fin.
tooth.
He's making a shark tooth
terrible.
necklace is what he's doing, which is Rosie and Magnum P.I. I've got to get a shark tooth necklace.
Yeah.
Well, do you need the necklace with just one tooth?
Just the one tooth.
Maybe.
Or are you going to go like,
haven't
you're gonna
decided
go full
yet.
teeth?
Possibly.
No, he's not ethnic. He ethnic. He needs
If we
the
get
one
renewed
tooth.
for season 2, I might start adding teeth for each season.
Oh yeah.
Just then, Dr. Catalina Stone arrives on the beach and introduces herself. Man, that was quick. She's there the next morning. I guess California's pretty close.
Yeah.
San Diego, yeah, it's right near Mexico.
She tells Dan she thinks the tooth belongs to a subspecies of the mako shark. It's very nomadic. She says it shouldn't be a problem with the resort guests. It's probably just moving on in. But still, she'd like to stick around for a few days and see if it's still swimming around in the area. There's instant chemistry between these two, am I right?
Instant.
You know damn well they're going to be doing it at some point.
Well, he is smiling like a Tom Cruise fool.
I was about to say.
Hey, Tut, speaking of
Yeah?
doing it, you know who's currently doing it well in the world of premium cigars?
Who's doing it well?
You guessed it, Drew Estate. At IPCPR 2018, Drew Estate announced the Corona Viva, the Short Panatella, and the Petite Corona Vitola extensions of the Liga Privada 9 and T52. And they'll soon be available for all Drew Diplomat retailers. The number 9 and the T52 Corona Viva, Short Pantella, and the Petite Corona will now be core sizes of the 9 and 52 lines, featuring the same Liga Connecticut River Valley Broadleaf stock cut Habano blends over plantation-grown Brazilian Matafina binders, Nicaraguan Honduran fillers. Same cigars, just 3 brand new sizes. We did quite a few videos of these new blends. While working for Drew Estate in Vegas. We talked to Master Blender Willie Herrera about them, and I gotta say, when we came back from the Connecticut barn smoke, we were given the Corona Viva of the 9 and the 52. That Corona Viva was the best T52. I'm not a big T52 guy.
Yeah.
It was the best T52 I've ever smoked.
Yeah.
It is really something special in that size. So head on over to drewestate.com and learn more.
I also like it because, sometimes you don't have that much time to, enjoy that full size. So,
Exactly.
yeah,
and as Willie
I
said
like
in the videos, these are just tweaked, the same blend, same ratios, they're just sized down. But that Corona Viva 52 was delicious.
Yeah.
Find it.
You'll
That
like was a pretty good fin, isn't it? It's a good fin, right?
I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a good shark fin.
That's just a.
It's a fin.
It's a 9-degree
It'll
turn.
come
It's
more
not-
into focus when I finish the rest of the drawing.
Rosie the kid would see that as a quarter of pizza pie.
Rosie's an asshole.
Hey, turn on Rosie. Right on.
He's so easygoing.
After acquiring the shark tooth from Carpenter, she tries to pay him for it, which is weird since it's just a Mako. But he's like, you know what? Take it. It's my donation to science. That's his little trying to put the moves on her. Ding, ding. Little tooth shining.
There's a 4-minute weird scene where it's just him smiling.
I've drank and 8 Coca-Colas this morning. She goes back to the cantina where she makes a phone call to the museum. She tells them that she's found the real McCoy and asks them to get a camera crew down here pronto.
She's talking about Ben Carpenter.
She likes what she
I
sees.
found him. Get a camera. We're gonna shoot this guy.
Dude, she's up to something.
Nefarious.
This is no Mako shark. That night at a rockin' beach party, 2 drunk lovers sneak into the swim park and go down a giant water slide. They're actually kind of doing it as they're going down this water slide. It's pretty impressive.
I was actually looking at the camera work on this.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
pretty
like,
good. It's before GoPro. Like,
I'd kind of like to be that camera dude just going down the slide.
he's like on his knees on a boogie board. Like, I don't know about this.
Oh, this sucks.
Well, somehow,
This is what I get for going to Playa del Rey Film School.
well, as they shoot down the bottom of the water slide, they go right into the mouths of the Megalodon. And somehow this causes a red alert at the Apex Communications control room. We know this because there's a screen in the control room with a generic shape of Mexico and a blinking red dot off the coast.
And it just starts, and the klaxon thing in the background, blank, 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 blank.
They call Mr. Tolley, and he's super pissed. He orders some men to inspect the lines, and the tech nerds, you make a better backup system so this doesn't happen again. One of them is like, was Mr. Tolley unhappy? And the tech who was talking to him on the phone lights up a cigarette. Assholes are never happy.
It's good philosophy.
That's
Wasn't
good
it a
wisdom.
joint? Because I thought he passed it to him. It was
I
a
think
joint.
because they do smoke a joint later. Yeah.
That's good
Tech
philosophy,
nerds.
man. Assholes are never happy.
And assholes are never happy.
Fuck you, dickweed.
Fuck you, dickhead. The next morning, Carpenter meets those guys assigned with checking out the telecommunications cable down at the docks. Turns out it's his old buddy Chuck, played by a guy named Ryan Catrona. Do you recognize him from anything?
I do.
What?
He played drill sergeant in Babylon 5. Early 90s.
You are correct, sir.
I couldn't figure out where
Good
I recognized
job.
him.
I didn't. I know what you're gonna say. I didn't know it till I looked him up on IMDb.
He was the bartender at the strip club in Last Boy Scout,
Harp.
where Jimmy Dix is like, I'm just drinking everything and fucking everything that moves.
Stay on the other side of the bar.
Stand the other side of the bar.
No, Harp.
It's Harp from
Was he
Last
wearing
Boy
the
Scout.
sandals? Or is that in a
No, he was
later
actually wearing
scene?
his wetsuit, which I thought was weird.
What a kick-ass
He just
name,
got
though.
done
Chuck
shooting this
Rampart.
Chuck Rampart.
Well, it turns out, as Ben's filling him in, Chuck wasn't told about the big-ass shark tooth that he got that he found in the pipeline. But you know what? Chuck's got a job to do regardless. So he climbs in his little submarine and gets to work. Catalina shows up with her camera guys, and they head out on the water as well. Although the camera guys are more concerned with filming her ass than any marine life. One of them turns to the other guy, "'Cause you're an ass man, brother, and you'll do anything for the ass."
That's right.
And then it's just like 10 high fives. And meanwhile, she's like
they're
still
so
sticking her ass
happy.
out there like, "All right, guys, get
She's
some
like, I hear you.
get some footage of it." That was before Me Too. Apparently Me Too is like in the paleontology field as well. Or should have been. Fucking
You could definitely tell her lines were not written by a woman.
sexist pigs.
I
Sexist
was
pigs.
really more wondering why they weren't be like, oh, I should be a paleontologist because I'm getting rock hard.
Yak boy. This guy. Get come pussies in him. He's Pussy Willows in him. Sorry. Well, those sexist dogs. Well, after chumming the waters, they
Got some Jurassic fossilization going on in my pants. All right.
the guys start chumming the waters, and then they have some time to kick back and relax. Did you notice Catalina? She laid out with some sunblock on and read her big book of dinosaurs.
Once again, it's a giant fucking coloring book.
But it's not long before the Megalodon shows up and starts battering and eventually eating the shit out of their boat. I love how they're like, we need to get footage. Here, tie that rope to the cameraman's loop in his jeans and push him out off the side of the boat. And he's like, all right.
That's good.
Sounds like something we do.
Damn right it does.
That's total TNCC stuff.
Anything for the shot, man. Anything for the shot.
All right, Tut. I got you.
It's gonna look great. Do this.
Doctor's just going to hold your pants.
No. It's gonna look great. Lead me forward.
I don't know. After watching so many Shark Weeks, it doesn't dawn on these people. They act like, you know what? Shark won't break the surface plane of the water. Those fuckers will jump 30 feet out of it to eat a goddamn seal. I'm just hang over the boat, like just hang out there.
Cody, as a cameraman, you just
Hey.
don't understand.
She's not a
You gotta
marine
get that-
biologist.
you gotta get that shot.
Even though she told Ben she was a marine biologist, she's not.
What?
She doesn't know those things.
What?
I'm
And
picturing
this
this
was
scene.
2002, before Shark Week. They haven't seen those things.
I'm picturing this scene. Doc, hold Tut's pants. I'm like, I don't have a free hand.
Use your teeth.
I don't know what to do here.
Well, eventually the shark does
Meanwhile,
emerge.
I haven't heard any of this. I just go ahead and lean forward.
Well, he's got the
and follow
headphones on.
Where's Tut?
Eventually the shark does break the surface, and Catalina tags it, and they're all super happy.
Woohoo!
Let's have another can of Coke.
It's also worth mentioning during the whole sequence, the shark they're showing just resembles a really big great white shark.
It's the size of a great white
what a
shark.
Megalodon
It's
looks
not
like.
that
It's
big
just
of a
a giant
shark.
great white shark.
So at this point in the movie, I'm like, if this is the Megalodon, I'm confused. But then later on, we learned there's more.
Oh, yeah.
There's more out there.
Yeah, because I was the same way. I
this
was
is
like,
just
I was
a
like,
baby.
This is just a megalodon. I mean, this is just a great white shark.
But it seems to me that a trained marine biologist / paleontologist / lifelong reader of the Big Book of Dinosaurs would have been like, you know what? That's just a great white shark. It's not a Megalodon.
Well, I mean,
But what do I know? I went to
I
Sam
mean,
Houston.
just because she's a
I went to Sam Houston
paleontologist doesn't
State.
mean she could have been studying stegosauruses.
We then cut to the cookie cutter scene that every shark movie has to include, where a guy's playing frisbee with his dog on the beach. Gotta have it. Every fucking movie, you gotta have it.
You fucking hippies.
Only in an
Did
unusual.
Jaws have it?
Yeah, the guy's dog
He's
goes
throwing
out
a
there.
stick.
He's throwing the stick out there.
That's right.
In an unusual twist, though, the dog is smart enough for once not to go after the frisbee. He stays on the beach. So
And then the guy's like, why won't my dog come out here?
I'll do it. So he swims after the frisbee and is quickly chewed up to bits by the Megalodon. Again, lots of growling. But I'm going to go against Tut here. The shark looks good, and the close-ups of it eating him are real. It worked for me. All the kills look good for me. Maybe I've watched too many bad CGI sci-fi movies to where a little effort goes a long ways, but it looked good to me, Doc.
Yeah, I'll go along with that. There's just some CGI that is just so bad that if there's any effort at all,
I don't think this was CGI.
No, it wasn't. It was a
stock.
They
This was
showed
mechanical?
close-ups of a fake shark chewing this guy up.
and I just mean when you point out the effort.
And then actually the close-ups of the fake shark actually were pretty good because I never
Yes.
caught on that was mechanical. I thought that was stock footage.
No, when they stock footage of a guy's arm in a shark's mouth, Where are they going to find that?
Well, I mean, I
that
thought,
was the Megalodon after party.
well,
I mean, you see his arm and legs and limbs in the mouth.
man.
After finding
I
this,
didn't really watch this movie. I was like,
I was waiting for him to admit to it. After finding the severed limbs washed up on shore, Carpenter marches up to Catalina's hotel room to find out what the hell was going on. He saw them chumming the waters earlier, now he wants to chum her waters. No, he's serious. He takes his role as beach patrol officer very seriously. But as soon as he sits down in her hotel room, he sees a stack of her business cards, which she's laid out on the coffee table conveniently, and they indicate she's a paleontologist, not a marine biologist. You lied to me, Kat. What are you really doing here? Well, the gig is up. So she says fuck it and tells him everything. There's supposedly a Megalodon dinosaur shark on the loose. She tells him it can grow up to 75 feet long with a 10-foot radius bite. Jesus, Kat, you're telling me one of these dinosaurs is loose in my waters? No, she says, you have a 15-foot baby Megalodon shark. But he's still uber pissed. She had a responsibility to fill him in, and despite her luscious melons, he's out of here. He's got principles, damn it. Good for
He
him. Hey,
cares.
taking my flashy smile and I'm
Hey.
getting the hell out of here.
good for him. Good for him.
So she's not a paleontologist.
No, she
She
is a paleontologist.
She's not a marine biologist.
Oh,
She
okay.
told him she was a marine biologist.
She's a filthy liar.
She pulled a Costanza.
At some point, he's
totally did.
I knew you were too lazy to be a marine biologist.
Those big boobs and your lack of work ethic. I knew you were
I knew you were a
paleontologist.
paleontologist.
Nobody parties like paleontologists.
Well, I spoke too soon, as I often do. The next morning, Carpenter is working side by side with Kat. He totally blew her off, and the next minute they're working together to find the Megalodon using her tracking equipment. She explains that unlike other dinosaurs she read about in her big book of dinosaurs, scientists suspect that the Megalodons could have survived the Ice Age and extinction by hiding deep down in the underwater trenches.
Yeah, because as a cold-blooded fish, they
Could live 2 million fucking years somehow?
in
That's-
the cold depths.
But that's the basis behind the Meg, the recent movie that came out.
How
in the
did they
book.
handle that?
So it's supposedly somewhere in Southeast Asia off the coast of Philippines, is a thing called the Mariana Trench,
Right.
which is so far down underneath so far down. It's
If I was ever a female stripper, that would totally be my name.
Mariana Trench.
Mariana Trench.
It's,
biologist.
it's apparently hundreds of miles long, and so the whole idea is that there's this like basic level of fog on the floor.
A whole nother world under there.
And it's so cold that part of it is so cold, and then when you go beneath that, then all of a sudden it's warm again. So that there's this cold layer that keeps this life from ever going up and seeing humans, but it's got this protected enclave so far down there that
So
they're able to survive.
below this cloud is a prehistoric world,
Right.
and
Okay.
these giant fucking sharks still.
What do
live
they
there.
eat? They have to live for
Well, no,
millions.
there's other
giant
life down
things.
there.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's there's
other
squids,
crazy-
fish, all
yes.
kind of stuff. It's its whole world protected by being so far down and this layer of cold water that far down. And when you go beneath that fog into the trench, all of a sudden it's warm again, and here's this protected ecosystem.
Correct.
Could you imagine with climate change, that cold layer just dissipates and all these big ass?
It seems
fish
like
comes
James
up?
Cameron should be down there by
He
now.
probably is.
He would have found that by
Right next
now.
to the ghost of Slim Pickens.
Slim Pickens.
He's down there. You munching on them squid tomatoes?
Those octopus tomatoes.
Did it suck on your tentacles?
They're gonna ask these questions, honey.
Who, the starfish police?
The paleontologist.
Has Slim Pickens have the starfish?
Oh
Paleontologist?
shit! Oh shit! We got a paleontologist.
Here, paleontologist, put this shovel to some good use.
Oh shit! She's got a big book of dinosaurs.
Scrap this one on your triceratops.
Well, Carpenter's history lesson is cut short when the sonar starts beeping and he realizes that the shark is headed straight for the resort. He loses that smile. Full throttle now! Let's get our ass to the beach.
I love that scene in every ocean deal. You gotta have that throttle shot.
Oh, they have like 50 of those throttle shots in this thing. He immediately radios into the lifeguards to clear the water. But there's a few.
What are you talking about? The lifeguard.
The lifeguard.
Billy, get the people out of the water. Hey, people, get out of the water.
Rosie, get the people out of the water.
Right on.
And with all the
Whatever you say.
bad accents, do you need to get out of the water?
Well, most of the people do, but there's a few chicks on rafts taking their sweet-ass time getting out of the ocean. But luckily, Kat manages... The paleontologist is also a badass mariner. She steers the boat in between the chicks on rafts and the Megalodon, like blocking its way.
As if the shark couldn't dive deeper.
Well,
because it's fucking water.
By doing this, she sends it detours, and it goes straight out to sea where a parasailer is parasailing out in the distance. Whoops.
If you only work 3 hours, a
I'm
day,
sure the
you got.
parasailer's looking like, oh, thanks.
If you only work 3 hours a day, you got plenty of time for boating lessons.
The parasailer's up there like, oh, he's going to be munching on those chicks on the rafts. I'll be fine. Oh, great. Thanks for steering him over here, bitch.
Goddamn paleontologist.
And I bet she's not a marine biologist. The poor girl parasailing, well, she was probably screwed regardless, but it doesn't help that the two dipshits behind the wheel of her boat are totally shit-faced.
Dude, when I saw that, I was like...
They're just chugging beers TNCC style.
There's Kate in the dock.
Dude, you and me were all drunk. You're all, so is that turquoise around the mermaid? Like, I don't know, man. One of the drunk nuts falls overboard, gets swallowed immediately by the shark. It didn't even do anything. He just fell over because he was drunk. The other guy, he's so drunk he just falls and hits his head and gets knocked out on the steering wheel. And then the Megalodon... Now, from a technical standpoint, this was cool. Stock footage of a great white grabbing a rope in its mouth and sinking down. Real footage.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to her getting dragged.
Yeah.
So they actually used real shark footage of a shark with a rope in its mouth, dragging a rope, and they show her. It works. It's really good.
And I'm just thinking the TNCC
Come on, Tut,
never...
say it's good.
Except for the fact that once again, they're putting in those growling sounds.
We should not do a show on water.
It's the MGM lion growl.
I am sorry.
On water.
It's that guy from the beginning.
No.
Go down that
If anyone's like, hey, man, I just bought a new yacht. You want to do a TNCC podcast? That's a terrible idea. We're all going to get eaten.
We're never going to do a show on the
If
water.
we ever had money, we wouldn't be able to do that because insurance would be too high.
Oh, God. Our insurance for putting us on the water?
You want to bring those
You want to
four
do
guys
what?
out there.
Where?
Well, we'll take $10,000.
I'm sorry, we really love your script, but we can't underwrite this.
We'll take $10,000 off the premium if he removes.
This would have to be
if he
done by
removes the
Lloyd's of
headband.
London.
No dice.
I paid less money
Right on.
insuring the Sex Pistols on their tour of America than I'm going to pay for you four dipshits to go on the water for 2 hours.
Fair enough.
It tracks.
Totally tracks. I just thought it was a really cool cinematic trick because we see the actual great white as it grabs a rope, starts swimming with it, and then we show her being pulled along. I dug it. Well, they come real close to rescuing her. She actually ends up in the water, and Catalina is trying to grab her hand and bring her up. I said they got real close to saving her, but close only counts in what? Horseshoes and hand grenades?
Definitely not shark bites.
She gets chomped to pieces. I think she actually gets bit in half.
That poor girl.
When they get back to shore, Mr. Ruiz is
I can just
really...
see-
Well, also I
can just see-
asked the fact is that one lady's like, here, I'll help you up. Oh, you're so slippery. I can't pull you up because your hands are wet.
Yeah, I noticed she didn't ask anybody to latch her belt loop onto anything. She wasn't going too far over the edge.
My deal is I could just imagine the sound engineer in post going, do we need more growls? Oh, yes, more growls. More growls.
Do it.
What I need is I need a guttural growl.
It's the MGM lion growl. Well, Mr. Ruiz, when they get back to shore, is really mad at Carpenter for this mess of things. How many people just got 8? It's more than a mess of things. People are threatening legal action. Imagine that. And Ben knew there was a threat to the beach and he didn't say anything. Ruiz, Doc, you watch these movies, you know this. He doesn't want to close the beaches because that's a big attraction for the tourists.
It's Memorial Day week. No, the 4th of July weekend.
But he tells Carpenter he'll figure something out as long as you kill that shark and you do it quickly. His beach patrol officer, who has no shark killing experience whatsoever, seems legit. Seems legit. No, there's no Quint there. It's all on Ben.
Here's a 6-pack of Coke. Go out there and kill that goddamn thing.
Okay. Not cocaine.
I'll set
Not
you up
cocaine,
with I'll
Coca-Cola.
set you up
Coca-Cola.
with cases of Coke if you get rid of this
I've
shark.
seen how happy that soda makes you.
Yeah. All right.
Smile your goddamn winning smile and go out and kill that prehistoric shark.
Now there's a 7-minute montage of Carpenter.
That night, Kat is drinking heavily and blaming herself for all the deaths that day.
Well, she should.
Whoa, don't blame yourself, Ben tells her.
No, she should.
What?
Let me blame you.
Yes.
Don't blame
she should
yourself.
absolutely blame herself.
Yeah, don't blame yourself. We'll do that.
It's literally all
You
her
suck.
fault.
It is all your fault. You're
But-
responsible for deaths.
Boobies. Carpenter switched over into a different mindset here.
I know what will help you. My penis.
He says they just have to focus on one thing.
My penis.
His penis. No, stopping the shark. Stop the shark.
Perhaps you'd like to see some fossilized remains.
The Megalodon seems to be interested in the fiber optics cable, though, so maybe old Submariner Chuck can be of some help. He spends a good
Old
deal of
Mariner
time.
You got Chuck Rampart.
Chuck Rampart, baby.
I'm sorry. I
They
gotta
go
see-
to Chuck Rampart's pad, and Chuck reckons that the low-level electromagnet field of the telecommunications cable
Does
might...
Chuck really wear those sandals?
everywhere he goes.
Oh my God, these are
They
like
go to his house at midnight, he's still wearing his wetsuit.
these are like the worst like Adidas sandals from like the late '90s that I'm just like.
I own 3 pairs. Thanks.
I feel bad that I didn't notice his sandals.
I don't.
See, I'm thinking he like got in the, he was about 50 years old or whatever. He got in a really good shape. He's like, no, I'm wearing a wetsuit in every scene.
No. He had like a Hawaiian, a Buffett shirt on, a low-key Buffett shirt, and then some slacks, white socks, and then these sandals.
Well, I mean, he's an older guy.
The black with
Get
the
me a
white
pina
stripes across.
colada.
This isn't Florida. This is Casa
No,
del
he
Rey.
was dressed like Florida.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
Playa
thinking
del Rey.
Chuck Rampart should be the ex-Marine colonel who's Rosie the kid's father. That's why Rosie is who he is.
He made me.
Oh yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
I
Like he shows up and
that's
it's Rosie who's that, oh man, Thomas, that's my Bogart dad, Colonel.
You got a 9 to 5 yet, son?
Colonel Rampart.
Yeah, I'm delivering pizzas, yo.
Yeah. I eat 9 of those pizzas and drink 5 of them beers. Right on.
That's
Nine
the
to
that's
five.
the end of the episode when Thomas finally pulls him aside. Colonel Rampart, Rosie's just a good kid.
I know you might not approve, but we love him here.
And his headbands.
And his headbands. Let's pitch it to the Magnum guys. It can't hurt.
If only there was some more turquoise.
I can get more turquoise. With every season, I'll get a new shark tooth and a necklace, and I'll get more turquoise.
Maybe a headband
Going in
with
my
turquoise
notes.
in
More
it.
turquoise.
It's in my contract.
You know what this
Mahalo.
show needs? More turquoise.
Well, they go to Chuck's apartment, and he reckons, like I said, that the low-level electromagnetic field is attracting the sharks to the pipelines. And since the cable runs through some deep-water trenches, it's all adding up. That's what woke up the Megalodons. But good luck convincing Mr. Tolley not to turn on the whole system online. That's what his big production is, which will bring God knows how many Megalodons to the surface. Chuck promises Kat and Ben to do some hacking into the Apex Communications computer files that night to help Ben and Kat. But that giant frame picture of Dick Cheney in his living room, I'm having some trust issues with Chuck at this point.
Wasn't it him and George Bush?
And George.
I'm talking as big as
W.
that frame picture
Bush.
there. Giant framed pictures of George Bush and Dick Cheney in this guy's living room.
With a
This
mermaid
guy-
body underneath it.
This guy cares.
I'm having a pause with this guy's trustworthiness. I'm going to, spoiler alert, I would be proven wrong. Chuck's a good man.
Well, would you
Chuck
have felt better if
Rampart.
it was a picture of Bill Clinton?
It was just weird having any political figure that big framed in your house.
Who's a military man?
I guess. Well, Ben and Kat decide in the meantime they need all the help they can get, so they head to the local Catholic church to light a few candles. Why the fuck
honestly
not, right?
doesn't make any
It's a weird scene. that has
fucking
no.
sense.
But the next morning they're back on the boat and ready to kill the Meg.
I
That church scene was
literally
weird.
I stopped what the fuck was that?
Well, guess what?
I'm surprised that made it past the editor.
Old Chuck is actually able to hack into the Axis mainframe computer 2002 just by typing in the search engine on the
All right, that computer
management files.
This was done in 2002. That computer was from 1992.
Dude, all he entered into the search thing, management files, and it opened up all of Mr. Tolley's private stuff. And he instantly learns that Tolley knew about the cables leaking from shark attacks for a while now. That son of a bitch.
You knew this whole time. And
Well-
Gruff Voice Guy was, he did.
Well, the next morning, Chuck storms over to the Tolley's office where he's in the middle of planning the giant $100,000 investor party on the water. Chuck tells him he knows about the 7 divers that have died from shark attacks during the laying of the cable. Giggity. And he's going straight to the press with this information. Big deal, says Tolley. Who's going to believe a washed-up ex-employee with Dick Cheney posters in his bedroom?
Dude, but Rampart goes
Val-
off.
Val-
Bull fucking shit.
Valid point. Yeah, no, dude, Chuck Rampart's like, bullshit, they'll believe me.
Bull fucking shit.
But Tolley's like, fake news.
Oh my god!
Fake
At
news.
this time,
I'm not even going to talk about the George W. Bush posters.
I have to talk about the voices.
Okay, Doctor brought up a good point. I believe, and I have nothing to back this up, but when you texted me last night, like some of the dubbing in this movie,
It was voiced over.
I think a lot of these actors, it wasn't like they didn't do English. They did do their best
it was like the
English,
spaghetti westerns.
but they were local South African actors. I think this was all these.
If you look at
all
the
these were
end,
shot, I believe, in South Africa.
no, if you look at the end credits, it's either Russian or Bulgarian. They all have names like Hristo Stoikov and stuff like that.
That could be too, because the same producers, the guy who makes these movies, Ari Lerner, and they do the Expendables, and they shoot all those things over in Bulgaria. and-
Yeah.
But I think they did them in English, but then they redubbed them in better English.
It's like the old spaghetti westerns, to where you have Italian actors mouthing or saying the
Their
English
lips,
words,
the lips
but you have
work.
a voiceover in the studio.
Yeah.
You know,
So this
doing
is all
their deal.
Russian actors. Comrade Megalodon.
And it was really apparent in this one because you had, you know, the Chuck sounded just natural, just doing his voice, and then all of a sudden you would get like
Mr. Tolley.
Mr. Tully, who was like, his face was just really in. I'm giving Chuck the business, and then the voice was like, I really hate you.
Nobody will believe you.
Nobody will. Yeah.
Security. And they do.
Yeah, that's the way it was.
It was. And by the way, security does drag Chuck out of there.
It was the voice of Slim Pickens. Ain't nobody gonna believe you.
And I
Drag
thought-
this some bitch out here and get him some tomatoes.
Suck on one of these
my,
tomatoes.
my ears first picked up in that weird ass Coke scene with the supposedly Latino guy. It was like, oh, you gonna win. It was like the worst Mexican accent I've ever heard, and I was like, okay, we're going here.
Yeah, there's a lot of dubbing missteps, but you know what? It still kind of worked for me.
Yeah.
It didn't get in the way of what I was doing here. Are you done with cigar?
I am.
I just dropped it in the ashtray. I actually beat Tut.
Yeah. I've been-
You're hanging on
Yeah.
to Doctor. You're
It's
almost
nice.
done. Any final? It stayed to me. All those flavors from
Yeah, it was.
the beginning were there at the end. God, it was really nice.
You don't want to quit on it. That's a compliment itself.
It is. It was just
First of all,
really
if you're a
nice.
Southern Draw fan, you're going to love this cigar. I mean, you're absolutely going to love this cigar. If you're a cigar fan in particular, you're going to love this cigar. It's a really good cigar. It's been great the entire way through.
Agreed. Man, I just can't say. I mean, we've said everything there to say. Leather, spice, green tea, light wood shavings of cedar, mineral, Nicaraguan, mineral and earth. I mean, all just kind of ebbing and flowing throughout the smoke. It comes and it goes, and it's just always really pleasant and
I look forward to getting more of these. I really do.
Yes.
high praise. Yeah, agreed. I'm not even going to come back to the beer anymore. It's beer. We love it. And it's got a lot going on for it where I didn't think it would. Citrus, a little bit of hops.
As I said,
Crisp.
it is a what I would put in as a classic example of a really good Pilsner. Crisp, clean, not overly complex, but still very flavorful.
You guys should get-
Better than just a standard light beer.
Oh, big time. This would be the beer if a guy comes in and says, give me a Coors Light, but you think he might be open to maybe spending
Oh no!
another-
Anyone who says
another-
I only drink light beer, well, this is
Boom.
going to be it. This will
Hit 'em with
solve
this.
your
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
You
I
will
think if they
love
come in
this.
and ask for a Coors Light, you just give them some dishwater and charge them $5 for it.
I will.
He has.
Not that I have, but I will.
That was me.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Back out at sea, the Megalodon is battering the shit out of the boat. Ben manages to jab it with an explosive spear, which they made a big deal out of, but it doesn't detonate or he doesn't do anything with it for some reason. But the boat is filling up with water and it's sinking fast. Cat goes below deck, and suddenly the Megalodon bursts through the ship's hull. Did I use that term correctly? The hull?
You did.
Fuck yeah.
That's correct.
I didn't look that up on the Google. It's the hull, the shit, the bottom.
But you did not say if it was port or starboard.
I think it was starboard.
I thought it was aft.
I thought it was aft
It
myself.
was aft.
Yeah. See,
All
you should
right.
have just rolled with it. You should just not ask for confirmation.
You know, I'm taking off the headband. I don't deserve to wear this. No. Don't do it.
Although following up makes you something more than a paleontologist.
Yeah, I'm putting a little bit of...
You did some work and then tried
What
to
I
do
love about it is like she's down there fighting for her life. Nobody else knows what's going on because the ship is so huge. No, it literally is the tiniest fucking boat.
It is.
It is like
And you could
It's
hear the shark.
SSS Minnow.
And she's down there fighting this thing. You can hear it
You can hear the
growling.
growls.
You can hear it growling.
and along comes Ben Carpenter. He opens up the door. Oh no! When did this happen? Like
He just smiles at that shark and it swims away.
Well, it's chomping like mad down there trying to eat her. More on eating her later on. Ben races down below and he starts beating the shark with a baseball bat. Why do these boats always have a Jaws? They had a baseball bat. Why do they always have baseball bats on these
You
things?
need a baseball bat on the ocean.
Is that a thing? Like if you get a big fish on the thing, you
Knock
beat
the
it.
well,
yes, that's
Beat it to
in Hunter
clubbed that
Thompson's
shit.
book. He wrote a book called The Curse of Lono, where he went to Hawaii and he did some deep sea sport fishing, and he actually hooked like a 300-pound marlin, and it's one of the funnier scenes in it. He had met some.
Was a deckhand banging his wife behind
No,
him?
no.
Okay.
He had met some like Hawaiians who had given him this Samoan war club, and it didn't look like much. It was about a foot long, what size of a ruler, but it was a Samoan war club.
Kind of like a billy club.
And he said that they brought the fish onto the boat and it was thrashing around with his tail and like, kill it. And he said, rather than give it 15 whacks with that silly baseball bat that they have, so that's a real thing. He's like, he grabbed this Samoan war club and clocked it once and killed it. But apparently
Okay.
they do keep a bat on there for bashing things' brains loose.
You go on a lot of fishing trips, Tut. You keep a baseball bat handy?
No,
You're catching like goldfish and stuff.
pretty much if I catch fish at all.
Yeah. You're about the drinking.
Yeah.
get
Okay.
your 6-pack.
Sounds like you fish the way I play golf.
Just
I
there
just
for the
want to be
beers.
there in God's country. With
Drunkenly.
Well, it's a useless endeavor, him hitting this thing with a baseball bat. It's a prehistoric dinosaur. It's not going to go down with a baseball bat. Unless maybe like Mark McGuire or Barry Bonds is going to town on this thing.
You think if Ben had rubbed some cream and clear on
I was
himself,
going
he
to
would've
say, like the
killed that
Barry
fucking thing?
Bonds, like just... Well, Cat, just as the shark turns and tries to eat Ben,
Oh my God! And then there's like
Cat-
a 4-minute scene of the
Of
shark going after Ben,
Ben
and
with-
Ben's like, "God help me! God help me!"
this is hard to
God
act
help
for
me."
him because he can't smile and he can't... He's
It's like, oh,
Troubled
oh,
Ben.
Oh no!
Don't show those
Oh,
teeth.
no.
Well, Cat grabs a shotgun, they also have one of those, and shoves it in the Meg's mouth. You're extinct, fucker. Blows its brains all over
And
the hole.
there's the ever so pleasant splatter
On
up
the side
against
of
the
the
ship's
ship.
side.
All the science and the fancy doohickeys in the world, a shotgun can still solve any problem, all right?
I was just waiting for eat hot lead, sucker.
You know what else can solve almost any problem in life, boys?
What's that?
A nasty Cedrus cigar from Drew Estate.
Oh yeah.
Earlier, I mentioned the new sizes of Liga 9 and T52 coming down the pipeline from Drew Estate. Oh, pipeline ties into me. Well, we've also got the Unico Series Nasty Fritas to be excited about. The Nasty Fritas utilizes a Connecticut broadleaf Oscuro wrapper, my favorite wrapper in the world, and a plantation-grown Brazilian Matafina binder over Nicaraguan and Honduran fillers. Like the highly popular Papas Fritas, the French fries, the little tiny Liga 9 and 252 leftover cigars that are made of the tobacco leaves that are shortcut through the manufacturing of 9 and 52. It's a really cool shaped cigar. It's a very unique shaped cigar, the Nasty Fritas. Everybody at the trade show we went to was going bananas over them. So keep your eyes peeled. Bananas, keep your eyes peeled.
Okay.
I'm not going to acknowledge your joke. Even
You won't
though it
catch
was
me.
hilarious.
You won't catch me slipping.
Oh, God. Oh, boy.
I feel like the headband's giving me powers. I'm making
Any more of these puns and I'm going to split.
He did it.
He did it. He took it. He did. Sorry.
Surrounded by a bunch of monkeys here.
But seriously, I did a pairing video with the Nasty Fritas in Vegas. It was super rich and really tasty, and everybody was really pumped to get them on the shelves. So they definitely get the TNCC stamp of approval. Go to drewestate.com to learn more. Back to the movie. Well, now that the 15-foot baby Megalodon is killed, Ben and Kat race up on deck to signal his boy Ramirez to get his boat over there. They're sinking. Get your ass over here. Save our asses. And it looks like everything's going to be A-OK for a second.
Yeah.
He gives them the A-OK symbol. Mexico.
That solves
that's
all problems.
universal, whether you're in Mexico or that A-OK.
Okay.
Until Mama Megalodon emerges from the sea and jumps up and eats Ramirez and his fucking boat in one big gulp.
Just swallows it whole.
She literally swallows the boat and Ramirez whole.
I was wondering because, like I said, the entire time I'm watching this movie, and I'm just like, dude, all they're showing me is just a picture of great white shark. It's just a big shark. It's not this big, huge megalodon.
I had the same thing. I'm like, you know what?
And then all of a sudden this happened, and I couldn't help it. I cracked up. I was just like,
Well,
okay, there it is.
It's not CGI. They do like a classic Matt thing where they take a great white shark footage of him emerging from the water, opening his mouth, and then they superimpose
it's huge.
The boat with Ramirez in it, and it just gobbles it right up. It's cheesy, but it works.
Hey, exactly.
The shark then proceeds to topple Ben's boat over, and as he and Kat climb up on the wreckage, it then swallows up her two cameramen like fucking sardines that the guys at SeaWorld throw to the seals. It's like nothing. He swallows them whole. Just whoop. Or it's still growling like a beast. Luckily, Ben is able to fire off a flare gun into the air, and a helicopter swoops in to rescue him and Kat. But not before he grabs a giant Megalodon tooth out of the bottom of his boat. He wants proof of what went down here.
all right.
Did you guys think that the flare gun was going to shoot the helicopter and blow it up?
I thought that the shark was going to eat the helicopter.
Jaws 2 style.
Either that or the helicopter pilot would just had seen that shark and say, "Fuck this."
I'm not getting anywhere near these
I
fuckers.
thought he was going to shoot the helicopter with it. It just blows up.
Well, Ben marches straight when they get back to shore into Mr. Ruiz's office, and he jams that giant Mama Megalodon tooth into his desk. He explains, "We killed the baby, but now there's a 60-foot dinosaur shark the size of a Greyhound bus in the water. And Ruiz, you need to close those beaches now." But of course, tourists, Ruiz, he's not closing those
All of a
beaches.
sudden, all of a sudden he's got the voiceover of Pee Wee Herman. I will not close the ocean.
This is
I
the
won't-
classic from the Creature Features. It's just like Mayor Weiler from The Last Shark, who's got the regatta barbecue plan. And they're like, people are getting eaten out there. I've got the Centennial Regatta surfing competition and barbecue plan.
I have 2,000 pounds of coleslaw and 3-bean salad. I can't let that go to waste.
I'm sorry, I'm actually tying it back to our last podcast, the zombie thing. As I got the barbecue this weekend.
Oh, I mean, look here, Ben. I mean, I got some pulled pork sandwiches to feed 200 people. We can't cancel it. I'm sorry.
These guys hate canceling fucking picnics.
No, don't cancel barbecue, man.
Well, Ben and Kat are furious. They run into old...
I got 4,000 slices of fried pickles there, Ben. What do you want me to do? You want to dump them in a drink? I mean, come on.
I just can't do it.
I can't do it. I'm sorry.
I can't do it. Ruin my business.
Fuck you.
Well, Ben and Kat storm out of Ruiz's office, and they bump into old Chuck in the lobby of the resort.
Chuck Rampart.
He says the local police here in Mexico, they won't do shit. No shit. And the Mexican Navy isn't interested in helping.
Now,
They have a Navy?
siestas.
That's what they're called?
No, that's just what they do.
Is that
Yes.
Mexican for NAFTA?
Siesta is the Mexican word for Navy.
We need to get Cody's thoughts on NAFTA.
Well, Kat calls she says she called the U.S. Coast Guard, but it'll take them 2 weeks to get there. Because they work at Best Buy and Target. They have to get off work and cover their shifts, and it's going to take them a while.
It's just
Easy.
too much. It's too much.
For them, or I went too far?
No,
You went too far.
No, for them it's too much.
No, you went. No, y'all went too far.
No,
We're
I think Katie-
pro
U.S. Coast Guard is one of the most.
Katie's saying
Yes.
those guys work hard. They've got another job.
They can't.
It's the most underappreciated branch of the armed forces.
I appreciate them. I'm just saying it makes sense. They can't just jump in a submarine and get there.
Actually, they'd probably. Well,
They
no.
got to cover their shifts.
That's right. He's on it.
We love the Coast Guard. Striking Distance is one of my favorite movies.
Coast Guard wasn't involved. What a dogs.
I still like Striking Distance. Fine,
That was
Ben.
the Pittsburgh Police.
It was the River
Department.
Patrol of Pittsburgh.
What a dogs.
Fine, Ben says. We'll handle it
I
ourselves.
do like Striking Distance.
Again,
Love that movie.
Beach Patrol guy with no shark killing experience is going to handle this himself.
Flashy smile, man.
So they come up with a plan to draw Meg in using the pipeline's electrical frequencies and then torpedo the shit out of it. Because luckily, old Chuck, when he retired from the Navy, kept a shitload of torpedoes.
Because they just wouldn't keep those accounted. Oh, wait. Right. It's the American military.
Typical military fuck up.
It's kind of like at the end of high school,
Typical
like, you
military.
know,
Okay.
guys on the soccer team would, like, go steal a warm-up jersey, like, for some ameno from soccer.
Chuck stole-
Chuck was in the Navy. He took
so
some
you're
nuclear
telling
torpedoes.
me that we can't account for 13 torpedoes?
Well,
Nope.
Rampart retired
Okay.
yesterday.
Well, yeah, this all coincided with Rampart's retirement party.
Did he open his closet like Arnold's closet in Commando? He's got, like, chemical grenades.
I've got to get my torpedoes from the
Gotta
shed.
get my torpedoes from the shed.
These are big fucking torpedoes.
They're huge.
Would you expect nothing less from a guy with a Dick Cheney poster in his living
And a
room?
guy named Chuck Rampart.
Rampart.
Of course he's got friggin' ordnance.
Well, here's the thing. In order to kill the shark, they have to tag it.
Chuck,
with a-
what were you planning on doing with this if we didn't run into a giant shark? Don't worry about it.
Sandy Hook was a hoax. All right, whoa, Chuck,
Okay,
Chuck,
sorry,
Chuck,
Chuck.
Chuck.
Want to watch some of my Hulk Hogan tapes? No.
Hulk Hogan tapes. All right, just take it easy, Chuck. Here's the thing, though. In order to torpedo the shark, because it's a biological organism and not... The torpedo isn't trained to get it. They have to tag it with a tracer first in order for it to lock in on it.
Sure.
Kat says, no problem, I can do that. I have a crossbow. Get me close enough, I can shoot it. Again, a paleontologist with no prior crossbow experience.
She's got nothing to do.
As
She
we
can
pointed
practice
out, she works 3 hours a day.
She can practice her crossbow.
It's like
You saw the shot she did to their feet. She's skilled.
It's like when people look at me in the golf course and go, "Geez, Doc, you're really good with that pitching wedge." I'm like, I don't do a lot of doctoring during the day. I got time on my hands.
Well, guess what? Chuck says, all this, you know what? I know this giant shark is eating everything in sight, and it's just growing and growing. It can wait till morning, TNCC style. Let's get some rest.
He's already eaten 47 people. What's 10 more?
Let's
That
meet.
sounds good.
Let's meet back here at the docks at 8 a.m. ish. I'll be here at 10.
We don't work at night.
However, Ben Carpenter doesn't have his mind set on rest.
Oh, yeah?
No, he doesn't.
What does he have his mind set on?
Kat tells him that she's exhausted from the craziness of the day. Oh, your two best friends getting eaten like sardines? That's craziness. I just want to get a shower and relax.
And she's worked 8 hours that day, which is more than she usually does. She's paleontologist. God, I clocked in for 8 hours.
Well, Ben says, you know what? I'm actually feeling kind of wired from all the action. How about I take you home and eat your pussy? Well, there we go. He said it. Folks at home, that's what Ben actually says to her. I didn't make that up.
Yeah.
How about I take you home and eat your pussy?
All we need is a little Roxy music.
It was a goof line that actor John Barrowman threw out there after a long day of shooting to make actress Jenny McShane laugh a little bit. And the fucking director, the magnificent David Worth, kept it in the final cut. It's absolutely glorious, and it has propelled this film to notoriety way beyond what it would ever be as a creature feature.
The director was just over there counting a pile of money like, Whatever.
Just
I'll allow it.
that one line. If you go to YouTube and type in Shark Attack 3, the search will pop up eating pussy. Not Megalodon, not anything else. Everyone knows this movie because of that line.
I like Axe's idea though. He's like Gus Van Sant and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. He's like, what if I say I ate your pussy? John, I'm busy.
I'm busy counting my money.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
It works.
And
it works.
I'm sorry, boys, but now it is made clear why I chose the Pussy Willow Pilsner for tonight. Pussy Willow, a tree like the Cedrus cigar, ties in there. Pussy Willow and Ben Carpenter has an affinity for eating pussy.
Yes.
It is the ultimate beer pairing, ultimate cigar pairing, ultimate movie pairing. I am king and god of pairings. Bow down before me in my headband and my turquoise ring. I kick fucking ass.
Well done.
It's all gone. It's all gone to his head. He's lost it.
No. This what's funny is that people are going to be like, oh wait a minute, you don't. Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
This pairing was so good the doctor's lenses shot out of his fucking glasses.
But
I'm like,
being a man of science, I am always prepared for these things.
He's got a backup pair.
it's got back up.
Totally has a backup pair.
Oh,
Dudes, come on. Best pairing ever?
No. It's like people are like,
you're
wait.
goddamn right. I did.
It's like people are like, wait, you don't pair for taste and complexity and contrasting
Yes,
flavors.
we do these.
No, yours truly stayed up till 2 a.m. Googling on the Google pussy beers, and I found a pussy beer. You're welcome.
I never said you weren't.
Oh,
Man.
You're welcome, the Google.
My glasses were wired like Ben Carpenter for some pussy eating. They just couldn't take the heat, but it's all right. I'm ready.
Holy shit, what a pairing! I want to pair. I'm like Ben, jazzed up from all the action. I'm feeling wired from this fucking
no,
phenomenal
you're like Ben who just got a Coke.
Pussy Willow.
Oh God.
Now it
It
begs
works.
the question: has anybody ever used that line, and should I start?
That's what I was telling my wife. I was like, man,
Go on.
Continue.
that was a really bad way to start.
No, you have to finish now.
No, it's just like all those years through my 20s.
That's what his wife said.
When I was laying groundwork, I should have just been like, hey, how about we go home and I eat your pussy? Work
Okay.
for Ben.
And dude, she just laughs like.
Okay.
I know what I'm saying at the Pecan Valley Golf Course Saturday afternoon.
Do you need a pairing for that?
The car girl walks up.
Nice.
What can I get you? I don't know. I'm really wired from this golf round. What do you say we go home and I eat your pussy?
Oh my God.
I was going to pair it with the Cedar Creek Cream Ale, Cedar Creek beer, Cedar cigar, and the cream ale had some spice. I was like, that's kind of safe. What if they somehow made a
what?
pussy beer?
But what if
What other podcaster would dig that deep to find a pussy beer?
this guy?
Good job,
This
Rosie.
fucker.
Good job, Rosie. That's Rosie the kid.
I should get a shark tooth just appear on my neck just now, like magically, just from making this pairing.
I think that happened in 90210 Shark Attack.
God damn, I'm good.
Eh.
And it turned out to be a really good pairing.
Here's to the pairing.
It really did.
That's a great line.
It's a crazy line.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's one of maybe
and
my favorite line in any movie ever made.
Is not Barrowman a homosexual
He is.
who said that he didn't, when he threw that line out there, he had no idea, but he just thought that would be funny?
Like he didn't know what that actually meant.
Isn't that true?
No, even I'm.
In real life, that John Barrowman is a gay
Yeah,
man.
but even gay people know what eating pussy is.
No, but I mean,
Nobody's never actually,
The
like
act-
us, considered saying that
no,
to a
but the
woman.
actors would probably be less offended. She wouldn't flow out the Me Too thing if a gay actor was.
Well,
As
It's
opposed
also-
to if it was me.
Yeah, but it was also 2001. so
John
that was-
Mincy as Ben Carpenter.
then you have a lawsuit.
What do you say we go home and I eat your pussy? Did it knock you on your tennis?
See, that sounds just.
I would have done it. Barrowman pulled it off. Barrowman delivered it perfectly.
We sure did.
I would not have.
Uh,
Well, I don't know, Todd. Maybe I shouldn't have said it, but I did. Fuck you.
what a line. The only thing better than a line is the fact that I spun all this together out of it.
He's gonna keep going on. Railing on that
Take
one.
it easy.
Oh, I'm gonna be puffing my chest out about this for at least 2 or 3 years. We should probably stop the show at this episode. There'll never be another bigger pairing than this. It's crazy.
You don't know that.
That's true. There is Shark Attack 4.
Oh, no.
How about I take you back to my place and eat your ass? I'm up at night.
Ass beers.
Ass eating IPA.
All of a sudden, there's a raccoon ass stout.
I'm on so many watch lists, dude, of just me trying to find a beer for us to drink.
Tonight we'll be drinking the Skunk Ass IPA from Ceausescu, Romania.
Tuck, can you find that for us? Well, we cut then to Kat's hotel shower, where Ben is not, in fact, eating her pussy. He's actually going to town on her wet knockers. Yeah,
Sweet.
you appreciate that.
Sweet wet.
Close enough, I suppose.
And I can't
But still, he kind of made a big promise out there at the dock.
Well, you don't know if he didn't.
It's like sometimes you think you're hungry.
Yeah, well, there was a scene where he kind of like went down, camera panned up.
Yeah, but I kind of was like, sometimes you think I'm so hungry I could eat a whole pizza, but then you have some salad and you're like, that was enough.
And I can't escape. I will be your slave, slave to love. La 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 la.
You know what I mean?
Slave to love.
I'm sure she didn't appreciate that.
No.
You know what?
Thanks, Brian
I'm actually
Ferry.
okay. I'm actually okay, Kat. We're good.
Wait,
Thank
what?
God, you're here.
What do you mean we're good?
God bless you.
Only reason why this is happening
The
because
only
it's
reason-
predicated.
The only reason we're in my shower is because what you said on the deck, asshole. No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
I decided I'd rather
Once
bang you in the
again-
shower.
Well, what is she going to say? You lied to me. No shit. You lied to me. Thanks.
Oh, remember when you said
Marine
you were a
biologist?
We're even Stevens.
You lied to me first, you bitch.
That's what he-
By the way, here's your Stegosaurus coloring book.
By the way, I looked in your big book of dinosaurs. It's Barney.
Again, this is why Matt Cade isn't allowed to make movies. I would have him totally collar on that marine
You know what?
biologist shit.
Hey, you know what? Why don't we get your buddies back in here? Oh, wait. They got eaten by a giant fucking shark.
Oh,
I know.
that blood's on your hands.
I know what we'll do, Catalina. Why
There
don't we
is
call
no
up
blood. They got
Rampart? Call him
swallowed
over here.
whole.
Maybe he'll eat your pussy.
Chuck's like, I'm in.
Chuck saw it's midnight. I'm asleep.
Oh yeah, Chuck's tired.
Leave me the. I said I'd meet you 8-ish.
I told you we're going to take care of this 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm asleep.
Well, the good thing is I can wear these sandals in the shower if you want me in there. They're multi-purpose sandals.
Dude, while they're making out, Chuck's there in his wetsuit.
Hey,
You want to borrow my sandals?
Real
They're
quick, side
waterproof.
note, did you notice that when she showed up in Mexico, she was wearing a swimsuit? Or a wetsuit?
Why not?
Well, you never know.
She was
Like,
pretending to
off
be a
the
marine
plane,
biologist.
She had a wetsuit on.
She was pretending to be a marine biologist.
She went all the way.
Yeah.
He did not.
Ben Carpenter did not.
All right.
And here's
after that
here's to
claim-
false promises.
Well, after that claim, he was going to need a wetsuit, but he didn't wear one.
Oh. That would have been funny if they showed him suiting up.
I really would have just been more hilarious if he pops up in the screen. He's got like snorkel and
Snorkel.
goggles on.
Snorkel and goggles. I'm ready.
I'm
Like that guy in the hot tub and hot dog just pops up.
I'm so sorry.
Well, the next morning, Chuck
Don't
and
apologize. Tell us too late now. You hooked your wheel to this wagon. You got to
Well,
throw with it.
we just undid it. but,
Fuck you.
know,
let's take a moment here for Brixton Mash Destroyed. When it's time to talk about going down, it's too brown to get down.
Round to get down.
I'm not sure if that's a good tie-in or not. The next morning, Chuck and Ben are locked and loaded in the submarine, while a very relaxed Cat, imagine that. She was really relaxed.
Did-
Well,
It's been-
I love also the fact here is the outside of the submarine. It's about yay big.
That's
If you
what-
get inside. That fucker is spacious. They got some beds to
It's
lay
like
down in.
It's like the thing of the Enterprise. They have like plenty of room in their seat. This submarine is literally the size of a fucking can of Pussy Willow, and they're inside. They have all this room, and
Would have been funny if you.
I'm gonna go in the back and put on my suit. Wait, there is no back. You fuckers, it's a beer can.
Would have been
No,
fun.
there is a back. There's
You-
17 feet of back.
You see Ben with a can of Coke. He's all spitting it out.
Pulling out some hairs.
God.
now I understand why she was so relaxed. Why she missed with that crossbow. She was just loose as a goose. He did it. He did it. He made his way down there to the Mariana Trench, if you will.
He went into the Mariana Trench very deeply. Discovered some cool water and then some hotter water.
Move past.
Well, they're down in the submarine.
Fuck you.
Cat, a very relaxed cat, is up hovering above them in a helicopter. Nearby, the yacht chartered by Apex, remember they have a big party, Apex Communications, is in full swing party mode.
Wait. Does Ben look up at her in the helicopter and go, "Oh God, I've seen this before"?
No, he plays it cool. And I honestly didn't know he was gay.
I thought you told me that.
Wait, he's gay or the director's gay?
No, the
Barrowman.
actor playing
Malcolm Merlin.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I thought
you
you-
were talking about the director.
No.
I thought you told me that when we first researched that line many years ago.
You confirmed it.
Yeah,
you know
he is.
stuff. You know stuff.
I don't want to call anybody that isn't.
No, I don't want to either.
Not that
but-
we care at all.
No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, okay. No, I'll just.
If anything, that just shows his prowess as an actor, because I believed the line.
Yeah.
I thought he really wanted to eat it.
It would have made a very different movie, and
In the
not
yacht-
that I would have disagreed with that choice.
In the yacht, they're
and I
in,
don't disagree
Well, we
with
can't
that
quit
choice.
now. I got 4,000 aquatic street tacos. I got to serve to somebody. For
they're
Christ's sake.
in the yacht. They're in full swing party mode. They have tables of like fancy fruit displays. There's some meats and cheeses. There's cakes and champagne fountains. Mr. Ruiz shows up with his stunning girlfriend, and he assures Mr. Tolley nothing will go wrong with the party, as both our financial futures depend on it. In fact, he's brought along a knapsack full of grenades.
He stole them from Chuck Rampart's backyard shed.
In case a shark shows up, we'll just throw these grenades at him. And Tolley's like, I like it.
Oh yeah.
That makes
Right
no
on.
sense
Did
whatsoever.
anyone else think Ruiz had like a tiny resemblance to Tony Robbins?
A little bit. I can see that. Well, underground, Ben uses a claw extending off the submarine to lower a box of explosives onto the telecommunications pipeline.
But how do we know they're explosives?
They say explosives on the box.
Oh.
Mr. Tolley would not agree with that.
Also, they were leftover Christmas presents from Chuck Rampart from several years
Well,
ago.
I like the fact that they've lowered themselves down, and now after they're lowering it with the claw, all of a sudden they're concerned that the explosives might go off. Not before.
Well, that's the
that we're
thing.
going
Like
down on the submarine.
it's kind of teetering, and it's like, well, the end goal here is to blow the shit up. Who cares if
But
like?
then you
Well,
see,
'cause they're right
but
there
then you
now.
see, then you see Chuck Rampart, and you see Ben Carpenter. Dude, you just traveled 2,000 feet underwater with fucking explosives. Why all of a sudden are you concerned now that they're going to explode?
Because it's tipping over.
Well,
It was like rocking.
Mr. Tolley and Mr. Ruiz are unaware as the yacht party is kicking off full steam ahead. Tolley is giving a demonstration. He has a generic map of the Mexican coast on the wall and some blinking red lines to symbolize his amazing new technology, and all the investors seem very interested in this presentation. $20 a bullshit presentation. Like, oh yes, I'll give you $1 million. It's literally a little thing of Mexico coast. No like words. It's just and some blinking stuff, and they're like,
Eventually,
Who
this
do
will
we
be on
re-
a new thing called the Google.
who do we write the check to? And he's not even made aware when Ben blows the pipeline up. As remember those tech guys that are alerted whenever there's a problem.
Because they're so hot.
They're stoned.
They decide to light up a joint and not even tell him what's going on. TNCC
I
style.
no longer care.
Are you gonna tell Tally? Oh, fuck no. Well, just as Tolley raises his champagne glass to toast Apex Communications' success, the Megalodon smashes into the yacht, sending cheese trays and partygoers flying all over the place. What happens next helps elevate, besides the eating pussy thing, Shark Attack 3 Megalodon into another stratosphere of straight-to-video creature features. The yacht folks go crazy.
Oh, it's
Immediately, they start throwing life rafts over the side and grenades off the side. Ruiz is just tossing grenades everywhere.
It could be anywhere. Throw them.
Which is blowing the submarine, which is trying to help them all over the
I like
place.
how Ruiz totally dismisses his hot woman that he's
It's
got.
total chaos.
He's got that hot blonde
he's got a beautiful
model. He
wife.
just shoves her aside.
Oh, dude, it gets better. Ben and Chuck are still in the sub trying to figure out a way to kill the Meg. After Kat, she has that one shot with her crossbow, but she's so relaxed from her orgasms, she misses. But the grenades that Tolley is throwing is just making everything much worse for him. Dudes are flying off the side of the yacht. Dude, the shark isn't even hitting the yacht, and dudes are like, you'll see a guy standing on the yacht
Oh my
and like,
god,
whoa!
it's the worst. It's the worst.
No,
It's like literally like me sitting there going, and action.
Whoa.
Except they didn't cut on the action. They cut like 2 seconds before it.
Dude.
To where he's standing totally still, and then all of a sudden,
Just dudes
It's like a
jumping up the side.
bastardization of the end scene of the Titanic. People just jumping off, just left and right, just cartwheeling into the water.
yes.
What am
Women,
I gonna do with all these cheese trays? I mean,
women are jumping off, screaming like hell. Everyone's trying to get to these life rafts, these little rubber boats, which makes no sense because the yacht itself is intact. They'd be much safer on the yacht, and they're just jumping in the
there's
water.
no way the Megalodon can swallow that.
It's just bodies flying everywhere. It's crazy. In a classic moment of douchebag justice, which I want to do another podcast just about douchebag justice,
It's going in my notes.
Mr. Ruiz grabs the life vest off his girlfriend. She put it on her. They don't have enough. Takes it off of her, puts it on him, smirks at her, and then jumps off
Dude,
the
that's
boat.
the best part. He just lifts it up. He doesn't really he just lifts it off, so just gives her a little shove.
Gives her a little shove, puts it on, jumps off the boat to get to the raft, which makes no sense as we've established, right into the mouth of a shark. Dude, total douchebag. All he's missing was the Affliction t-shirt. If he had torn off his tuxedo and he had the Affliction t-shirt and then did that,
Again,
total douchebag justice.
like Boba Fett, just goes right into the Sarlacc pit. Just goes right down the gulf.
Swallowed whole. One gulp, done. And then the Meg, who now has an insatiable quench for human flesh, swallows an entire raft of potential investors just like that. The yacht is fine. They could be up there eating cheese trays and salami. Dude,
No.
Well, Mr. Tolley, the guy running this whole thing, says, fuck this noise. He jumps on a jet ski to escape the pandemonium, smirks at everybody, but his career's ruined at this point. All his investors are dead, but he still gets a smile. Gets on the jet ski, drives it right into the fucking Meg's mouth.
Turns to look back, like, then whoosh, right in there.
Literally, the Meg opens his mouth
I can't
and
figure out the logic. Giant fucking shark in water. Let me get off the safe vessel.
And get into the water.
dude, he literally drives it down the throat of the Meg. It's fucking awesome.
And they go, ah! And sails right in.
Well, whatever Chuck left the sub to do did nothing out in the water. Spearing the Meg didn't work. So Dan decides he's got a plan. He's going to set off the submarine's alarm because it attracted the sound. And he steers it right into the shark's mouth. So the Megalodon is wrestling and chewing up the submarine in its jaws. Dan sets the tracer, launches the torpedoes, and then has 30 seconds to escape from the sub, which he barely gets out of there in time, before the torpedo circles around the water and blows the giant shark into a million pieces.
Yay!
Some really cool visuals of him swimming with that giant shark behind him. It looks good.
It does. It works.
It looked like a giant greyhound buzz of a shark, and he actually escaped. Like, it looks good.
And I think the main thing, even though we've already touched on it, is in addition to Barrowman's line, the scenes of
The
the
jet ski.
Megalodon swallowing people whole, jet ski, and Ruiz jumping right in. As you said, Cade, cheesy, but goddamn does it just work fantastically from an entertainment standpoint.
From an entertainment standpoint, these last 10 minutes, add in the eating pussy line. But dude, those last 10 minutes of that shark just swallowing people whole.
Just crazy fantastic.
At the time when this came out, this is before sci-fi movies really were sci-fi movies.
Yeah.
Nobody was doing stuff like this. I mean, they went big.
This is one of the earlier, but this is before.
No, that's a great point. That this
Yeah.
is before the sci-fi.
Correct.
You know,
before all the
3 hour
like classic
yeah.
movies and everything like that.
This was just them going balls out. Like,
Yeah.
And the first two Shark Attack movies didn't do that. They played it kind of safe. They had really just safe kills and.
This just went for it with that gigantic fucking thing.
Oh my god! And it just paid off in spades. That's why this is one of my favorite. This is what sci-fi movies should be, but they're not.
Every now and again, one comes through.
Every
I was
once in a
about to
while,
say,
something
yeah.
decent comes through. But can I get a lighter from somebody? Well, the aftershocks from the Meg blowing up knocked Dan out cold. He's floating face down in the ocean. But Kat jumps out of the helicopter to save him. She finally does something. She's pretty tired.
Well,
And helps him into a raft. When he comes to in the raft, he quips, "Megala who?" Hey, where are the cocktails?
Round of Coke for me and my friends.
Another can of Coke for me and my friends.
I was just waiting for a freeze frame, but it didn't come because he just kept laughing.
Well, that's how the movie ends. Him in that raft just laughing his ass off.
And then they drag her on the beach, and him and Rampart eat her pussy.
That was a deleted
This is
scene.
director's cut.
Director's
Cut. Well, I don't know why I shot the extra footage cut, but I did it.
I thought it was a cool way to end it with him. Megala who? Give me some cocktails. Come on. If we survived that shit, we'd be asking for cocktails.
Well, this
we'd
Rampart was like, well,
we'd
young
never be
flick.
out there in the first place. Yeah, we have
No, we would.
No, but see, we would have
We'd be
survived.
on a-
We would
we'd
have
be on a
survived because of
yacht.
our laziness. We would have never jumped off the yacht.
Yeah, we'd have been on the yacht.
When everyone else
Free
was
party.
diving off, we'd have been like, "Oh man, it's a long drop, dude. Tut, pour me some more."
Yachts leaving. Yeah. Cheese tray. Yeah. Free booze. All right.
They
But
knocked over all the champagne. Yeah, but there's like 3 more bottles in the fridge.
I guarantee I wouldn't be jumping off that fucking
No.
solid ass yacht that has no structural damage into a little tiny raft.
Hey, let's stay here.
The end.
There'd be some lawn chairs on that back deck. That'd just be us.
Dude, we're sitting there laughing at people as they jump into the Megalodon's mouth. You stupid fuck.
The great thing about cheaper PG-13 movies, shark movies, and especially sci-fi movies, where shark movies and creature features are a little bit different, they can work without the endless blood and the nudity. Where, unlike watered-down slasher films, like guys with like knives, and those are so integral elements to those movies, you can't do that. You can do a PG-13 or a sci-fi movie, shark movie, and make it work because it's about the creature, and it's about you can really make that do it. You can't do it with other elements of horror like slasher films or
Very true.
You just those things rely on blood and nudity, and you can get away with sharks and grizzly bears and killer spiders, and you can do a lot.
30-foot long crocodile.
You can do that stuff PG-13. You can do it for made for cable TV. Obviously, this was not made for cable TV. Actually, I should say this. When this plays on cable TV, they had to match up what he says in that scene. How about I take you home and eat your pussy? They actually dub it to, how about I take you home and we watch I Love Lucy? I didn't make that up. That's actually...
I can see it work.
Yeah.
Everything else is voiced over in this.
And then it makes sense that
that
they end up in the shower.
But I mean, that's why when sci-fi movies are done great, no nudity, no blood, but they're fun.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And you can't do that kind of with some of the other elements of genre. That is the end of our film. We had a really good cigar, a really great beer. I asked all you guys to come up with top 5 aquatic themed
Yes.
creature features.
Yes.
Because there were a lot of them. And there's
Oh,
been a
yes.
lot of them. I mean, this is a consistent genre
Oh,
that
good
pumps
God,
out stuff
there's-
from the 70s till
All
now.
the way from the Black Lagoon.
Correct.
Well, which way do you want to start? Do you want to start with highest or lowest?
Can I
lowest, working yourself down to your favorite.
Can I jump
Okay.
in on that?
Yes. I also asked you to do a little something different.
Yes, I would just like everybody to think about it this way. There are so many of these, and I hate making lists of any kind.
Can I just preface what I asked you to do?
Yeah.
Unlike you two, I asked the doctor because I know he watches, like me, all the bad stuff, all the sci-fi stuff. And I asked the doctor, kind of give me your best of that stuff. Give me your best of, not the respectable stuff, but
Not Jaws.
give me your best
And
of
more recent fare.
the more recent stuff that's out there. I'm going to start with you.
And I appreciate that. I just wanted to say that I don't like making lists. You and I could write a book about not just creature features. We could limit it to aquatic creature features.
And I did. I don't want to go outside because creature features to me is
There's grizzly,
bears, spiders, anything.
Empire of the
Lupus.
Ants.
Ants. I don't think lupus. That's like a disease.
Night
that
of the Lepus.
Lepus.
Or
The
le
Lepus.
Pousse if you
That's
study
what-
in France.
That's what I was trying to remember.
rabbits. There is a killer rabbit movie which the doctor
Love that movie.
for years referred to
Night
as.
of the Food of the Gods was
Food of the gods.
So-
You're not going to let me talk about your.
No, we're gonna move on from that. We're gonna rub over that.
Okay.
I've supported the headband. We're gonna move over that.
I'll shut up for now.
I don't.
I'll go ahead and break my own balls. There's a movie from 1972 or 73 starring Rory Calhoun and Stuart Whitman about some rabbits that eat industrial waste. That's a common theme, especially in the 70s.
Yeah.
They eat
Correct.
industrial waste. And 20 years ago, I said to Cade, "What about Night of the Lepus?" He's like, "Night of the Lepus?" And I thought, I didn't realize it was Latin. It was Night of the Lepus, and I said Night of the Lepus. And so we had some fun at my expense as we were
Oh, I
still
still
doing now.
20 years later, I still have.
Or after tonight's movie, Night of the Le Pousse.
Now the Le Pousse.
Anywho, moving on.
You have a unique perspective on this genre. Give it to me.
So I'm going to blot out older movies.
Correct.
And
We'll cover those.
and also for everyone else, you have to decide if you want to leave in Jaws 2, and Jaws 3 or not. But so moving on to more recent fare. Recently, we had 2 Piranha movies made. There was a Piranha,
A remake of the 70s film.
the John Corman
78.
78. They made it in 2010 with the still very, very attractive Elizabeth Shue, who's well into her 50s at this point.
Alexander.
The guy that did High Tension.
High Tension.
Tight horror film that we really
Which is
liked.
an awesome horror film. He did the first Piranha remake.
He did the first Piranha remake, starring
Elizabeth Shue, Ving Rhames.
Steve McQueen's grandson.
Yes.
Chad McQueen of Karate Kid, his son, who's a decent.
Adam.
It had Jerry O'Connell.
Jerry O'Connell.
It was a good movie, and they did it the right way as a cameo from Dreyfus at the beginning. I won't make your Dreyfus jokes for now. I'll keep it short.
Yeah. I'll keep it short.
I'll start biting you like Piranha.
I'll eat your
I'll
pussy.
bite you really good. Pussy. Anyway, and then they did a follow-up, which somehow bashed that one out of the water. It was directed by John Gulager, son of Clue.
Clue from Return of the Living
Return of
Dead.
the
His
Dead.
son, John, directed Piranha 3D, starring the Hoff.
It was 3 double D.
Oh,
because
3 double D,
What
I'm
they
sorry.
do in these movies is just giant titties.
Everywhere.
It has David Koechner, Champ from Anchorman. Great appearance by the man himself, the Hoff, David Hasselhoff, playing himself. And Ving Rhames.
I love Piranha.
That's a great movie. These are more
Double D.
recent ones. They're unrated. They do all of the things that the sci-fi movie, the good ones that we talk about, did. Just go over the top because they're unrated. There's gore and boobies. Those are really, really good ones. I mentioned the first Lake Placid movie was a theatrical release in '99.
So good.
They made they've made several of those on Sci-Fi.
I think we're at 6.
The first sequel, which was just Lake Placid 2,
Yeah.
came out in 2007.
Was that John Schneider?
That was John Schneider and a guy who we really liked from the movie Monster Man, the actor Robert Urick's son, Justin Urick, who was really good in this movie Monster Man. He is in that. That was I remember that being a Saturday night romp.
Correct.
So there's a ton of Lake Placid movies. If you're looking for one, go for Lake Placid 2. This is getting about 20 years old now because it's 97, but I think this qualifies as an aquatic one, and they've had several sequels and several sci-fi movies. I recently, within the last 6 months, went back and watched the original Anaconda movie with Ice Cube and Jennifer Lopez.
I would give that. They were on the water the whole movie.
Yeah.
Over-the-top performance by John Voight.
Oh
but
my God.
Deliciously over-the-top. There's over-the-top bad, over-the-top good. and
Jesus
then-
Christ,
and
that
then-
was the most over-the-top performance.
but deliciously over-the-top.
If you asked me to name
This river can kill you in 1,000 ways.
If you asked me to name a good actor who just went fucking crazy in a role, John Voight in Anaconda is right up there.
Who are you to presume? You presume to tell me what to do? Who are you to presume?
Because when I think John Voight, I think Brazilian adventurer.
Yeah, Midnight Cowboy or something. No, that and as it's 20 years old, you got to put that in there. So let's see. I said the Piranha movies, Lake Placid 2, the first Anaconda. You said 5, so I'd like to put something else in there that's more recent. As Cade and I have talked about, there's been a bevy of shark movies and snake movies and alligator movies on the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm going to go back again. It's still more recent. 2004, there was another one that was called Dino Croc.
Yeah. Was
And
that the guy from Chainsaw Massacre?
It featured in the lead female role as the evil scientist. At that point, the still lovely Joanna Pacula we all remember from Tombstone fame.
Mm-hmm.
She was the evil scientist. Yes. But it spends its time on the lake.
Eric LaFleur?
I don't even remember who's in it besides her.
Okay.
Other than the Dino Croc. But that was an example of what I said earlier about CGI, cartoonishly bad and not so bad. That was in the not so bad category. So there's a bevy of them out there. If you have not seen those Piranha movies, I wholeheartedly recommend them. Lake Placid movies, go see Lake Placid 2. If you haven't revisited Anaconda, do that. If you need something else, Dino Croc. And I'm going to stop there.
Thank you, Doctor. What you got?
I like what he said.
Give me your list.
No. All right.
I like what he said.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to start with lowest, go up to highest. Going back all the way to one of the original creature features, Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Black Lagoon.
It was one of the originals.
It was. And those
And-
underwater scenes are so majestic and just so...
I mean, this
Surreal.
was at the introduction of
And it
like
was.
the earliest scuba gear.
No, it was.
And they
And
used that.
the fact that you knew that the cameramen were under there with like those giant fucking helmets.
yes.
But the shit just looked so poetic.
And I've said enough, but I'm a huge fan of those old Universal horror movies.
I'm not, but I am of that one. And one of John Carpenter, my favorite director's greatest regrets, he was in talks for years to do a remake of The Creature from the Black Lagoon, and he never got to do it. And I would have loved to see that.
See what he done?
That was my favorite of the Universal monsters.
Yes.
I don't know how, with the technology they had back then, that they captured that underwater stuff as well as they did. It's beautiful.
It is, and that's what I loved about it, because you see her, she jumps in the water, she starts swimming, and then you see the guy. He comes out in the suit, and he's doing all that stuff, and he's right underneath her.
We just take it for granted now that you can go underwater and film anything, and it looks great.
The lovely Julie Adams.
Back then,
These fuckers back then, this was unheard of.
Your camera bodies weren't.
It was unheard of how and what the images they captured.
Yes.
It's a great call. I never even considered it as an aquatic creature feature when I made my list.
I mean, that's one of the originals. I mean, that's
Really good.
one of the original. But going on from that, coming up much sooner, I go straight to Leviathan.
Oh shit!
I mean, Peter Weller.
Fuck.
I mean, all those. And it's one of those. It's kind of creepy in its own way, because it's not a creature feature in the sense that there's a monster. People become the monster.
Yeah.
But they're in a deep water
They're in a
facility.
deep water envimonent, and then all of a sudden they
Pretty
get
like
that
Leviathan.
that mutagen, whatever bullshit.
What's
it
the
is.
one with Trey Williams?
They made another one, and I don't know if this is where you're going. They made another one right around the time they made
Deep Star
Leviathan.
6?
Deep Star
Deep
6.
Star 6, yes. Now
Had that
one is
guy
actually-
Matt McCoy, who does the AAA commercials.
Yeah.
That one is actually like
Not
a
AAA,
creature
the-
feature, because there is a monster, whereas Leviathan, the people become the monsters. But I like Leviathan better, because it just overall
It's a good list so far. I got two that I never saw
Leviathan
coming.
is almost kind of like a thing, but underwater. like the alien comes out and it overtakes. In this sense, Leviathan works that same way. People, the alien creature they ingest it becomes them, and it's the alien then. And it turns into the monster.
Good.
An underwater the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of in that way.
Okay.
So I mean that's what I liked about that.
I think that the Trey Williams thing it wasn't Deep Star 6. It was.
Yeah, I don't remember him in that. All right, let me find it while
All
you
right.
continue.
Well, go on. Yeah.
Now, this one it kind of fits in the middle, but it's not an underwater thing. But it has just because it's just classic. Because it does have its underwater scenes, and you do get that Clash of the Titans, the Kraken coming out. That was the last movie that you had like really stop motion, especially Harryhausen. I mean, you see that whole scene where like guy portraying Poseidon, he's underwater.
I'm disqualifying that.
I liked it.
All right. That's 3. What else?
It is really good. It is
I'm
really
just saying, I liked it because you see that. The whole thing with the Kraken coming out. Yeah,
Right.
you got this whole underwater thing, and it worked for me.
Okay.
I liked it.
All right.
Deep Rising?
Deep Rising.
That was it. Deep Rising.
Is that
was,
one of yours?
Oh yes,
Okay.
that's like that.
98?
Yes,
It had the guy from Color of Night, the artist guy, Casey.
yes.
O'Connell?
And then of course you had Treat Williams, you had Famke Janssen.
Yes.
Wes Studi.
That was a great. Okay.
And it was just that was fucked up. And of course, number one, the one that keeps everybody on their toes, Jaws. It just fits. That's regardless. It always sits on top.
Dude, that's an eclectic mix. That's what I'm looking for here. We had 10 fucking movies to make you think about. Tut, no pressure.
All right.
That sucks.
He's using the Google.
He's on the Google.
Well, I don't know about the Google top, but you may as well go ahead and use it.
All right, here I
Dick
go.
Brain?
1, I'm not a creature feature guy.
I love him.
Oh,
2, I'm not a horror guy.
you and I can write a book.
It's been established.
So here goes mine. Number 5, The Little Mermaid.
I'm out.
Uh,
I'm gonna lay down.
Number 4, Mermaid.
Mermaid?
Sensing
Tom
pain.
Hanks.
Splash, you mean?
Splash.
Put your finger in
You don't
it.
even know the name of the movie?
Number 3, Finding Nemo.
These aren't.
They're not horror films or creature features.
Number 2, Lake Placid.
You're big. I could see you
that's
be.
good.
I could see you being a big Lake Placid
Huge
fan.
Lake Placid fan.
Well, the writer of it, David O'Kelly, I
Betty
think,
White connection.
was the guy who did like Ally McBeal. So it was a very TV.
I'm sorry.
Oliver Platt is so good in that
Oliver
movie.
Platt and the sheriff. I can't remember the guy's name, but I love that actor.
It's Brendan Gleeson.
Brendan Gleeson.
I love their banter the entire way
dude,
through.
him and Oliver Platt alone.
I just
You know what? I'm gonna go back to the Splash thing. It's fucking John Candy. That's classic. Come on. Be big. Think
yeah,
big.
but he couldn't even remember the name.
or
of
as
the
I
movie.
call it,
Lake
Mermaid.
Placid, Meredith Salinger,
Who's that?
the chick.
Oh shit!
from
No,
Family
that was
Ties.
the
No,
Fonda.
Justine Bateman.
Yes.
In Lake Placid?
No, that was Fonda.
No. Oh, no.
No, there was the one that Platt kept flirting with.
No.
Yeah, that
no,
was
no.
not just. She
No,
looked like
that was,
Justine Bateman. She was not Justine Bateman.
Meredith Salinger.
Oh no, it was
Possibly, but
If
she
I
would.
got this right, somebody's eating my pussy.
Well, no.
Okay.
It might be Meredith Salinger, but she was not from Family Ties. She
No.
was just a cute brunette.
Well, Lake Placid.
she had a very Justine Bateman look to her.
Yes.
What's your number one, Jaws?
In terms of aquatic, yeah, Lake Placid. I just
Who
love
was
that film.
girl, man? She was
And then
on
number
fire
one's
right now.
Jaws. It just
It's one of the few perfect films, Jaws.
It is.
I'm sorry.
That's what I'm
Every
saying.
time I define, those little moments in life that make you just totally happy. If you're skipping around on the TV, or you just you're home late at night, you turn on the TV, and all of a sudden the Indianapolis
Tell me the name.
scenes.
But
Tell me
she's-
the name.
Boom, Meredith Salinger.
Yes, but she's not from Family Ties.
You're right. I said Justine Bateman, but I said Meredith Salinger first.
There you go. She was very hot in that movie. Oliver Platt had every right to flirt with her. Dude, Jaws is.
You turn on the TV and the Indianapolis scene plays, And
Jaws rewrote the
that's my
book
happy
on the
moment.
creature
I love
feature
that
in 75.
I'm sorry.
Want to know Mara Salinger's claim to fame besides that?
What's that?
In a 1988 Two Corys movie called Dream a Little Dream with Feldman and Haim.
I think we were supposed to do that at some point. Remember we were going to do all the Corey movies and we abandoned that because we got drunk and forgot about it?
That doesn't sound like our modus operandi.
Us style.
So much rape.
Oh, and Cody says there was rape in that movie, so we can't do it either.
No.
Was there a Dream a Little Dream?
No, it's just because there was so much rape.
Oh, so much rape. Yeah, okay. Continue. Sorry.
Well, when everyone asks me what is the perfect movie, two movies come to mind. Jaws and Predator.
I'm out. Wait, go on.
Those are in my mind,
Wait, how is
and
Predator?
maybe Die Hard. No. I'm saying we're talking about the perfect movie.
Oh, okay.
I eliminated
got you.
Jaws is pretty fucking perfect.
It is.
I eliminated the Jaws movies from because of what you asked for.
No, I
Right,
did,
right,
no, and
right.
I don't have Jaws in my list either. But when someone asks me like, what do you consider a perfect movie? Predator, Jaws, and probably Die Hard. They can't get any
I'm not
better.
going to argue with any
Well, yeah,
of
but
it.
They can't get much better.
You can't.
But now for like a creature feature.
All right, well here's my list.
Well, especially for an underwater creature.
Here's my list. I'm going to give you from around the same decade of Jaws, some of the ones that sprung from it that I really like.
Can I interject something real quick?
Yes.
I think it's important to point out that if you were really saying no time period, nothing, that Jaws, Jaws 2, and Jaws 3 are going to be 3 of my 5 underwater creature movies. I think it's fair to eliminate that, so I appreciate the direction you gave to me, and I appreciate where you're going with it. It's too easy to do that.
I'm not going to talk about Jaws. I'm going to give you 5 underseen films that maybe if you really dig this stuff, you'll go seek because they haven't been seen enough.
I can guess one of them, but I'm going to write it down.
See if you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give us these sweet, sweet films.
I'm going to start before Jaws.
Before Jaws. There's nothing before
1972.
Jaws. Lame.
I think Jaws was 77.
75.
75.
First one.
75. Frogs.
Lame.
Oh, good one, man. You know what? I could make a point of contention that it's not underwater, but
Sam Elliott is canoeing around that shit.
There is, and they do have a scene with black mambas in the water. Fucking fantastic.
This creature feature goes
Oh,
from
great
water
movie.
to land. Sam Elliott. Frogs.
I do like me some Sam Elliott.
It brings in aquatic elements. It also brings in land elements, but it is one of the very first creature features, and I love it. It's one of my top 10, maybe, favorite movies. I just love Frogs. Go watch Frogs.
Let me see if I can get the second one, real quick.
I'm going chronological. Nah, kind of.
Are you going low to high?
No.
Oh, okay.
Are you going
You
low
like
to-
that movie though?
I'm not doing an order of best to
You
worst.
just-
I'm just giving you.
Yeah,
I'm giving.
Give it,
It's too
give it
hard.
to us.
I'm giving you 5 70s creature features.
Let
E-
us shoot them down.
The rest will be
Let
spawned.
Cody shoot them.
The
down.
rest will be spawned from Jaws, but I think they have merits on their own.
Oh, you just gave away the name of one of them.
Piranha, 1978.
Yes.
Joe Dante, director. I saw it in the theater as a really young kid. I probably shouldn't have seen it in the theater. Piranha.
If only there was someone with maybe a strong mustache in it.
Barracuda, 1978. It really.
I've never seen that one.
Seek it out. It really played up the scientists trying to, stop the
Wait, I think I've
infestation
seen
in a
like
small
half.
town. Barracuda is fucking phenomenal. I'm gonna go on to Tentacles, 1977.
I guess that one, John Huston.
They made Jaws. We're gonna do a octopus movie. Tentacles. Dude, it's so fucking good. They made it in Italy. They made it really cheap, but some great effects, some great octopus effects.
So good and so bad.
And then you know
But
what?
then it's also good.
I'm gonna give this one.
If
you
you're
know,
wanting to seek some of these movies out, I'm sorry, man, I didn't. But that is a great one. Tentacles. If you want to seek some more of these out, that's a great one with good actors in it. It's a good film.
where's my lighter?
It's down there.
No, my lighter.
I don't know about your lighter, but here's my lighter.
There's a lighter. Grab that lighter.
And my final one. My God, this movie's so interesting. Orca.
Oh, I remember Orca.
Great
Yeah.
Richard Harris.
Yeah.
The great
Yes.
Richard Harris.
Yeah, I do remember
Richard
that.
fucking Harris.
That whole scene when the orca comes up, bites that dude's leg off.
Yeah,
That is fucking classic.
I do remember that.
Because you
yeah.
actually see that fucking bone sticking out.
Yeah.
Well, they do, but they also it's a lot of the whale scenes they shoot just so poetically, and like when they get to the ice island where they're like, I mean, it's cinematically.
It's almost like Frankenstein's monster.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So
Love the choice.
Orca, tentacles, barracuda. You'll love barracuda.
Orca is very unsung.
Piranha is just Roger Corman, gorefest, awesomeness, and frogs. If you like Sam Elliott and you like just crazy fucking creature features, you got to watch Frogs.
And don't forget The Little Mermaid and Mermaid.
No, we'll forget those completely.
By the way, remember how Harris looks in Orca in 1978? He was 47 years old.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't tell me these things.
He looks 67.
That was a man who's lived a hard life.
You're fired from the podcast.
These are the things
I'm
they
a
don't
Richard
need.
Harris cinephile.
Okay. Well, folks. Hopefully, this sums up Tuesday Night Cigar Club's Shark Summer. It's not a month. It's not a week. You've been reviewing the shit out of shark movies. I love shark movies. I promise this will be the last shark movie you hear from us for, well, your Meg review.
I'll have a review come out soon.
But we're
Well, I don't know, but I wrote it.
we're gonna give
Fuck you.
I know.
fuck you. We're gonna give Creature Features a rest. But dude, I love these films. I love that we gave this film the due it was deserved tonight. I felt like we did justice
Yes, absolutely.
more than probably any
Would you
other.
say it got its just desserts, kind of like Dr. Stone did? Or I guess Ben Carpenter got his dessert.
I don't know, but I ate some aquatic street tacos.
I don't know, Tub, but I got 47,000 aquatic street tacos and beef chimichangas. We got to serve them to somebody, goddammit.
Fuck you.
Who are you going to serve them to? I might go out of business. I might even be investigated. I might go to jail, goddammit, Tub.
I might have genital herpes, but I did it.
I might have warts on my ball sack, Tub, but I would have been.
fucking did it.
Christ's sake, once you're in Haiti, you're
Nobody's gonna give Shark Attack 3 the justice. I'm sure a lot of shitty little podcasts talked about this briefly and pussy line. And we gave this thing the whole.
If you go back and look at it, that's what we're all.
Let me look back at the tape.
Pussy man.
No, we gave this thing the whole beef enchilada right up the street taco.
Aquatic street taco.
We gave it props where it was
waiting on that
due.
one.
We called it bullshit where it was bullshit. That's what we do on
They
every
don't
movie.
serve those at Dorchies.
No, they
Yeah.
don't.
Your little Ariel mermaid's not gonna. I can't say something nasty about a Disney character.
That's right.
Can't we?
No, I'm gonna stop myself. I had a really clever line, but I'm not gonna use it.
I don't know why you watching Disney movies, Todd, for Christ's sake. I mean, I thought you had a cock between your legs.
Well, I thought I did, but I didn't.
Apparently don't.
No, we did this movie justice, and we did this fucking cigar justice. God, what a great cigar!
Fantastic.
It was fantastic.
Man, I have
look
a
forward to getting more.
95 overall.
Holy shit!
I don't know what I have, but
Yeah.
it's got to be big.
It's
That's what Dr. Stone said. It's like a megalodon. It's pretty fucking big. I don't know.
That's what I told my wife.
I
and
really
she said,
thought
"You're
out of all.
drunk."
What's Jenny looking at over there, Todd? Tells me it ain't you.
I thought out of everything tonight, my Megalodon joke about it being Shaq just on a raft,
No.
Here's your megalodon.
it failed miserably.
With good reason. That
Tug was
is
like,
a
I thought you were
megalodon.
just making a joke about he's big on a raft. I meant
Here's your
his
megalodon.
giant NBA penis.
I don't know, but I drew drew it, Tut, and I did it. No, I'm sorry.
All right,
I
well,
know I should have, but I did it. Fuck
maybe
you.
the folks on the set of Magnum PI, the new series, will give me some respect.
No, they're not giving anybody respect. It's a remake of
Well, I don't know about that,
Without a
Cade.
stash.
And did you guys notice he wears a Cleveland Indians cap?
I mean,
No.
No, he's got a Tiger's hat. I was just kidding.
But he has no stash.
Kate, all I know is my glass is empty and it could use some more pussy.
I'll get you more pussy.
Willow, the beer.
Have we not slurped up on Punta? Willow beer?
It was good to be back, boys.
Back to doing what we do.
Yeah, let's not forget about our roots. Taking people through movies scene by scene, giving them pairings like they'd never fucking imagined. I like it. I like it a lot.
Shall I give us a couple lines?
Yes.
La 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 la, la 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 la, and I can't escape. I will be your slave, slave to love.
Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would want to join us on Twitter, you can follow us at TNCCcast. If you want to go to the Instagram and see all those sexy pictures that Cade posts up, you can join us at TNCC Podcast. Or did I fuck that up?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
TNCC underscore
podcast. And then you can follow us on Facebook, Tuesday Night Cigar Club, to see all of our wonderful postings. And then you can join us on the YouTubes. You can find us Tuesday Night Cigar Club, and you can see our beautiful faces.
Hey Tut, what if somebody's shopping for cigars? What should they do?
If you're shopping for cigars, go to
The Google.
Our website and
Our
click on the
website.
famous link.
and
Start
click
with the
on the
Google.
famous link.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, you're a marketer, dude. Turning you into one.
Dude, it's the headband.
Fucking yeah, man. And if you want to
No, you
buy
didn't-
something,
no, you didn't-
you got Christmas coming
You
up.
didn't tell anybody about the famous.
Oh yeah, well you said famous.
Go to our website, click on the famous smoke shop thing, and buy your fucking cigars.
And then if you want to buy something off of Amazon, click on our Amazon link. Help us pay some bills. And I think that covers it all. I'm slowly trying to work us into live streaming the first hour. So if you've been hanging around the Tuesday Night Cigar Club, I know Mike, you have. Thanks.
We could take their questions
I know.
and make it a little more interactive.
Well,
If anyone would
Sort of.
if anyone would like to pay the doctor to write a nonfiction book about aquatic creature features, you can reach me through the Tuesday Night Cigar Club.
all
You're
right.
gonna write some aquatic fan fiction.
No, I said I will write a nonfiction book taking in everything we said tonight about aquatic creature features. A history book.
Ooh.
And if you're interested in that, you can reach me through the Tuesday Night
So
Cigar
you'll
Club.
incorporate real things from history.
Well, the stuff we talked about. Well,
Sound like an aquatic
not
thing
like a
from
real
history.
shock from history, Tone. I mean, it's just...
Sound like a real
It's a
shock from
shock,
history, see?
not a real one from history.
I don't understand what that was, but
Tony Soprano.
no, I understand what that was. I don't understand what your thing to the people was.
I am asking them if they're interested in reading a book,
Oh.
a film history book,
Okay.
about aquatic creature
The
features.
doc wants to write an
the
aquatic
thing we
history
just
book.
talked about 4 minutes ago.
They can give us money and you'll write
If
it.
they're interested, write to the Tuesday Night Cigar Club.
You know what I
And
said
I would be
earlier
interested in
about
writing
you
that.
being a marketer? I'm taking that back.
It's all in there.
I still think I'm pretty badass.
I don't know, Rosie. You had me going till then you shot me down.
You
The
give
ring
me
is losing its luster.
you give me a cigar named after a Lebanese cedar tree, and I pair it with a fucking pussy willow in a fucking movie where they talk about eating pussy. You're gonna tell me that I'm not fucking in top of my game?
I got your Lebanese cedar tree in my drawer.
I'm gonna sit on your face with my Lebanese cedar tree in a minute, asshole.
I don't know, Todd. You sat on my face, and I did it. I mean, I wish I didn't do it, but it
Hey,
happened.
you know what? I think in the last 30 seconds, we just summed up why Tut will never be elected to the Cedar Park School Board.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. My
They're all,
dreams have been
oh,
shattered.
you're the guy who said Finding Nemo was a creature
No,
feature.
I don't think that's what's going to get him off the seat.
Get him off my board.
I don't think that's what's going to get him on the seat. I think it's going to be the just copious amounts
The
of.
question was Finding Nemo. Why is that a creature feature? Finding Nemo.
Welcome to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Asshole.
This guy.
I stand by it. Stand by it.
You know what? Tut is who he is. I love that we are our individual personalities. Anybody ever comes to me and is like, you know what? I think you'd do a lot better if this guy was a little bit different, or
I gave like 3 fingers this way.
yeah. It's like when they came to me, like, I think you guys' ratings would soar if Tut stopped wearing the nurse shoes. I said no. Let him wear the shoes that he wants. I'm not going to fight him on it.
You know what, man? I got something I gotta say. I respected the headband from the beginning, but it sounds like the headband has gone to the
taking
head.
over, man.
It sounds like the headband has gone to the head.
And it's not even like cool Zen
I respected
anymore.
it from the beginning.
You know,
I gave you fist bumps. I liked it.
No. The headband's supposed to be Zen, and now it's not Zen anymore.
You know what,
It's
Todd?
so
I'm gonna
hurtful.
eat your pussy tonight instead of Cade's. I'm sorry, Todd. I made a promise, and I gotta follow through on it.
Hey.
I'm gonna eat it, Dick Brain.
Fuck you.
Cody has something to
Fuck you.
say. Say it.
What do I say?
You're with me.
Yeah, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Well,
Get us out of here, man.
that's what I'm paid for, right?
Yes.
All right. Guess what? We're going to be coming your way with a lot more episodes, a lot more faster and furious. Or,
Yes.
Todd, give them the suicide hotline number.
we should totally, at the end, do the suicide hotline.
No,
If you-
we shouldn't. That's horrible.
If you're alone and scared and like,
No, that's the reason why most people watch us is that they're alone.
They're
and
alone.
Yes,
scared.
I'm sorry. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry.
we want people
But
that are
admit it.
alone to realize that we care about them.
I'm not saying that.
We
I
do
have
care
You
that.
about
know,
them.
I mean,
care
if you
about
like wearing a
all.
headband, I mean, just, you know, again, you can reach
and much
me.
like John Barrowman in this sweet, sweet film, we're gonna go after that pussy.
I'm a little wired. How about we go
'Cause I'm
home and
gonna
I eat
drink
your
it.
pussy?
Oh no, here it is.
We love you. We love our listeners, and we remember you. Remember your names. When we break out of this weird kind of, you know, we can't advertise because of the tobacco thing, but someone at some point is going to hear our show and be like, you know what, you guys need to be here, and it's going to make sense. And we're going to go there, and we're going to remember all you guys that were here along the way. Whether you just kind of left comments or just kind of let us know you were present, we appreciate you. Because
We
there's a lot of
wouldn't be-
long-term listeners that like have always been there, and dude, we dig you. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Give a special shout out to my cousin, Kate Ryan. Kate, thank you very much. Big fan of the Tuesday Night Cigar Club. Got to reconnect with her at her brother's wedding. My cousin, Jack, who was married about 6
Cody,
weeks ago.
you know anybody who listens you want to give a shout out to?
Cousin Kate, love you
Surprised
so
he has
much.
Family.
Thank you.
It's so weird.
Thank you for your support. Love you.
Dear Cody.
Cody doesn't believe I have a family, but
I'll go ahead and give a shout
and
out
you
to
probably
Mike.
want to deny me right now.
I'll
I
give a
still
shout out to
think
Mike
he is a creature
Morgasm.
feature. He just sprouted
keep it
from
going
the
on.
seed.
Mike
like
Morgasm's a
Aphrodite.
badass bastard. Not only did he spend some time with us in Pennsylvania, but that fucker hung out with us with those old broads in Connecticut.
Dude, he saw me throw down on the Pedro bourbon,
Yes.
and that dude wasn't scared.
Wasn't scared. Didn't judge. At the end of the night, he's like, I need to, for my own mental health, just leave you
Go
guys.
away from total.
Which, you know what? That's kind of the best way to deal with us. Is like, if you,
slowly walk away.
No, take what you want, and then
no.
once you've had your limit, just kind of
if you encounter the Tuesday Night Cigar Club out in the wild, take a minute, enjoy us. But when it gets to be weird, step back and be, I'm out.
I'm out.
Mike did that beautifully in Connecticut. So good
We respect that.
props to you, Mike Morgasm. I like Mike. He loves Drew Estate, and so do we. You ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Are your fingers ready for it?
Oh wait, this
It's
is the
been
wrong
weird.
symbol.
It's been weird.
That's like a Mason thing. Don't do that. What is that? What is he doing?
I think it's pussy.
Oh, you doing the eating pussy thing? Dude, let's all do that.
No, it's not.
No, that's wrong. No.
All right. You guys don't let me have any fun.
No.
Let's
You
do it.
assholes. Sayonara, you fucking pussy eaters.
To learn more about the cigars and other libations enjoyed on tonight's episode, you can visit
www.southerndrawcigars.com and www.shannonbrewing.com.
For more on O'Brien's Irish Pub, the live music leader in Central Texas, please visit o'brienstemple.com and download their free smartphone app, where you'll find full beer listings including over 40 on tap, menu information, and a calendar of upcoming live events. To listen and purchase music heard on tonight's program, check out www.fritzbeermusic.com. Thank you for listening to the Tuesday Night Cigar Club podcast. This is Keith A. Howell saying until next time, friends, unless we see you sooner at the pub. So keep it smoky, and for God's sake, keep it ballsy as well.